Sure, he could have gone back and pulled 2 weeks of shows from earlier in the month and replayed the same 10 shows during the break, but that's a glass half-empty perspective.
Thank you.
Hawk could have easily just repeated the most recent show nonstop like they did over Thanksgiving, and you wouldn't have gotten to hear the Sinbad interview. What's the best Sinbad movie? I'd probably go Necessary Roughness with Kirkwood native Scott Bakula, Kathy Ireland, Jason Bateman, the guy who played Latimer in the program, and Mizzou alum Dwayne Davis, who played a fictional character named Alvin Mack in the same film. He was also in Under Siege. That was the one where Erica Eleniak jumped out of the cake and showed her breasts. Just an update for those who wagered on which arrives first, Iggy's passport or the autographed Maitland Ward book. The book has not arrived, so all bets are still live. Happy New Year. It's my birthday in 8 days. Buck Swope.
Oh, 8 days.
That's what we have for the design.
I see it's already 10 o'clock, so you must be in a hurry. I'll vote for KG in O-Town.
JV Golf Coach.
I'll go KG in O-Town.
How about that? How about
I thought it was a nice, sincere apology.
Yeah, it's really sincere.
Time to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to go deal with it. There's a new text line number on 101, and they're not going to be happy about it. Usually they're happy with change, but in this case, I don't know how it's going to play. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios, ending the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Bye.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday. Right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good. So check it out on 101 ESPN. Or get the podcast on the TMA app. Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
There's no shame in being single. It just means that 7.5 billion people don't want to be with you.
The tenant next door to it is a Kokomo Joe's.
Well, this guy's huge. And he did anal.
If you don't have a truck, a tat, and a kid by 20, you ain't nothing.
You know who doesn't kill spiders? Learn.
We're not talking about you right this second.
Doug's had enough.
I've got hair that people would die to have.
Martha White makes very good muffin mix.
Exploding colons.
I believe the fingering is the same.
When he says I'm diddling myself.
He's got a big blowhole.
But he's trying to pound Jackson.
The guy who actually took the first poop, how, he reacted. And did he squat?
You spend 15 minutes of it talking about Merkins. It's like one of your favorite topics for some reason. And every time you bring it up, once a week on the show, you start talking about Spartacus. It's like the same conversation that you have with yourself. No one even listens.
There's really nothing to talk about.
I got to tell you, pretty much viewing-wise, I'm now just down to girl.
Well, we all like Brian.
She washed my bowls, things like that.
And when I had my pants off, that's when Plowsy walked in.
What?
I think me and Iggy brought up a great topic of how weird it is for someone to get to page 12 or 13 on Pornhub. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've gone to page 24 before trying to find something I haven't seen before.
Oh, okay.
Patrick Reed's a scrub.
And right in front of it is a Red Lobster.
It's some hideous article that Jackson found and he sent just to upset us.
Oh, here comes Ezekiel.
Now, if somebody would call in and say, Iggy, you're nothing without Tim, I'd have to agree. I wouldn't go on a tirade. I'd say, you're right.
2 days ago, I did. I felt a little prick.
His wife is dripping for Tim.
It was on TV of some kind.
Vince Vaughn entrails?
Boy, I'd really love to go hoe chasing tonight.
He's already given up on missionary.
Oh, and doggy. You would have 2 hands and a mouth available.
That's ass to mouth, right?
Iggy, can we find somebody to talk pap smear today?
I certainly wouldn't be known as a flute leaker.
Do you know I kept score for Elvin Metzger's final 300?
Boy, that'd be a killer threesome in the middle of the lineup.
I was cucked in the moment.
I got a podcast that's in the top 50 in every country
country on the planet.
I'm a hag. You just go into that big hole. We just talked about taking a dump.
Okay.
May I swallow?
Well, every time I tee it up, I got a chance.
You know.
I gave Pepper and Jeannie a chance last week. 22 and a half minutes of pube talk.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Nothing says barbecue like Naven's Barbecue. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a family gathering, Naven's Barbecue has an extensive menu for any palate. From slow-smoked Texas-style brisket to award-winning smoked chicken wings. All Naven's Barbecue is wood-smoked, and all their meat is from local and regional farmers. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook for daily specials and holiday meal packages. Stop by their location at the intersection of Grand and Arsenal in South City today for the best barbecue in the STL. Online at navensbbq.com. That's NAVINSBBQ.com.
Want to see Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top? Get the TMA app or go to TMASTL.com. Sign in, sign up, and win. Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, the Sharp Dressed Simple Man Tour with special guest Uncle Cracker, August 17th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Find out how to win at TMASTL.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton, who also happens to be my insurance agent. And I am telling you firsthand that your staff is on top of it right away.
Is there a team in St. Louis that cares more about their clients? And I'll double down that there's not. What we do on a daily basis is coach and educate our customers on available discounts and the appropriate coverage to match their needs.
I can tell you firsthand the best, and I'm so happy I made the switch. And when you switch, they do all the paperwork for you. It's James Carlton, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk Action Jackson with you. Come on in, friends. The water is warm. Doug's still waiting for our first caller of 2023. Who is it going to be on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone line?
Oh, I don't know. Do they even know the number?
I think it's Buzz. 636-9004-TMA.
Okay.
Does Larry Nickel count?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, we probably called him. Or does he? He calls us, right?
Nurse Jackson?
I don't know.
He calls us.
Okay.
Nurse.
It's always a pleasure to talk to Larry.
It sure is. He had a heck of a little recap yesterday.
Oh, my God. It was unbelievable. Yeah. So who wants it? Who wants it? It's out there. I think it's going to be a lady.
Anybody all right, call her Ellen.
Ellen's the only one.
Ellen.
Yeah.
APB.
Her hot wife. Did she ever call in?
Hot wife Autumn?
Yeah, did you ever call in?
She called into the podcast.
Yeah, she did. We did a 7-hour interview with her, and Doug, it was a deposition. Really,
And then she started berating me.
7 hours.
She was berating you. You got cucked during that interview.
Kinda.
Nice.
Because you don't like to do anal.
Well, that.
Why would you berate somebody for not wanting to do that?
That's a good question, Plowhawk.
It's a perfect reason for somebody to call in and be the first caller of 2023.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I guess I followed up when I shouldn't have followed up, and I got eaten alive for it.
What'd you follow up with?
It's probably not safe for these airwaves. You know, the interview got
It's
a little
more of a one-on-one topic.
Yeah.
You went private?
The interview got a little risque, so I don't want to, violate the FCC.
Yeah, save that for balloon party.
Yeah, I think it's more of a balloon party thing. After we talk it over with Panger, Doug. 10:15 Panger?
10:45.
Oh, wow, a pivot.
En route to Detroit. So he said the later the better.
Oh, well, he'll be excited today. That was a great Blues game last night.
Boy, when the Blues and
Really
Leafs
great.
get together, Doug, little preview of the Stanley Cup final. These two teams get after it. Combined, would you say 20 goals when they played their last two games?
Well, something like that, yeah. 11 last night. Toronto's a good team, too. One of the best teams in the league. And Blues look very good.
Watch this. Binner, chicken dinner.
Yes. Great toe save there on that
how do you do?
breakaway during the overtime shootout.
Sadzi steps up.
Sadzi stepped up. Kyrou looked good. Shen had a big night.
Yeah, he did.
Doing this all without Krug and O'Reilly and Tarasenko. I don't know how long they can keep going, but Sometimes some of the younger guys get a chance, and you find out you got something you didn't know you had.
You're a Callie Rosen guy, always have been.
I've always been a Callie Rosen guy. First and foremost. That's the hope. I mean, we're still not even halfway through the season, so there's all kinds of time still to catch fire here, get in the playoff hunt. But that was a very entertaining game last night. I love 3-on-3 hockey. That's just the greatest.
You advocated it for it to number 99.
4-on-4. 4-on-4 would be better than 5-on-5.
He hated that.
He didn't hate it that much.
Oh.
It's just more interesting.
Were you on the board for that blog?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah. In my younger days when I was like, oh, that's an awesome take.
None of the guys who played are going to want the game changed drastically, but for the viewer, it's just more interesting.
Well, hockey had changed and it got more entertaining, so soccer, take note.
The Players Association wouldn't want it either. There's less players.
Right. But it is more entertaining. Nobody could argue that 3-on-3 is less entertaining than 5-on-5. I just don't think that's the case.
Players' unions pretty much run every league.
Yeah, for the most part. You know, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying I wish it would.
Well, then why bring it up?
Because it's more entertaining.
Damn.
I like to see just one-on-one.
No, that wouldn't be hockey at all.
Well, we got a little taste of it last night in the shootout. And then Binner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. Made a fabulous toe save and a beauty.
Now, if you bet the Blues last night, did you win?
Is this a callback to Joe in Croatia?
Yeah, it counts as a no-win.
Jackson?
What's up?
What's up? No, he's gone.
Because soccer...
He's watching video of the Tigers shoot around in Fayetteville.
Right.
Even soccer has their own rules for gambling.
Doug, Missouri is 7-point underdog tonight in Fayetteville.
That sounds like a pretty good bet to me. Tigers on a roll.
I wouldn't touch it.
I'd be disappointed if they lost by more than 7.
Jackson?
Yo.
You've missed out on the last bit of conversation.
Sorry, there's callers left and right.
Really? Calling
what
us.
is the spread on the Mizzou game 7?
Yes.
I don't know. I never take spreads in college basketball because free
frozen boards.
Free frozen March. So either take Mizzou money line or save your money.
Well, you gonna take Mizzou money line?
Yeah, probably. I've done it the past 2 games. Worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Without a sweat, probably.
Yeah, no
the
sweat.
The Illinois one was that one felt good.
The Kentucky one you didn't feel good about?
It did. The number wasn't as good. The game tipped off at like Kentucky -3. I can't imagine that's ever happened before in Missouri basketball
Well, if you bet
history.
the money line, then you were plus money.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't think Kentucky's ever been favored by that little against Mizzou ever.
Numbers up to 7.5, Doug. We're moving lines on this show.
Have you become fabulously wealthy on the backs of these resurgent Tigers?
No, I got hammered by the NFL on Sunday.
Oh.
That's all right. Came out even.
That's what they all say.
Where do you bet?
What was that?
Oh, for heaven's
Why is
sake.
there a sound barrier?
Where do you bet? If you don't mind me asking.
I do mind.
Wow, Jackson, you've crossed the line with that, Jackson.
Hey, you bet against yourself?
No.
Nurse?
Well, I mean, you're obviously
Chase
doing
this dough and get money. Shout out Young Gravy.
I mean, if you're doing it legally, you can go across the river and.
Sure,
just
that's what I
goes-
do.
Okay, I was just asking. It's not against the law.
They didn't drive across the river to place a bet.
Well, unless you have a bookie, that's about the only way to do
I
it.
plead the 5th.
I mean, I have a bookie. But if you don't have one, you drive across the river, and once you get into Illinois, you can download DraftKings and bet.
You think a lot of people do that?
Yeah.
You can't bet on Illinois colleges, though.
I think a lot of people.
I make picks, you make money.
Tim, you think a lot of people do that?
By the way, Missouri is plus 260 tonight, Doug. If you want to throw 100 on that. Drive across the river to make bets?
Yeah.
I think large ones. I think people go there on the weekends and get spots, kind of like you'll see in Las Vegas, where they get a, table.
Just go to the
and hang
sports
out.
book. Yeah.
Right. I think if you're just going to make a one-off bet, I doubt that happens very often. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to make a day of it and you're just going to...
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people just drive, and as soon as they hit the line, they pull off to the side of the road and make a bet and come home. But I do think a lot of people go over to Illinois and sit in the sports book and gamble.
Well, Missourians will get the app, register over there, then go into Illinois, and then make their bets.
Yeah.
You can have that happen.
I've heard that new sports book at Fairmount Park does well. They've set up their own little room there that's like a mini Las Vegas room. It's kind of neat.
Guys, if you have friends or relatives in Illinois, you can just send them money. Thanks. Brad, and he's in Boca.
Okay.
Can you gamble in Boca?
Florida is a current no.
Yeah.
It was legalized for a brief amount of time, and my friends down there were in heaven, and then it went away just as quick as it came.
That's amazing. I mean, you bet on everything down there. Highlight and horse racing and dog tracks all over the
They
place.
got rid of the dog tracks.
Did they?
And now the one by Tampa, I drove by it 5 times last week, is now a giant poker place.
The one that when I would play in World Series events in I guess it was West Palm, that was at the dog track. I didn't realize it was gone. The dog
Yeah,
track
I guess
gone?
they made it
I wonder if
illegal.
they played poker now.
Yeah.
You're playing poker at the dog track. Let's see. Hey guys, last week Iggy completely unprompted said that he was looking for a cat toy online. Quote, for a girl that was a friend who has a cat, and no one called him on it. Just checking to see if any restraining orders were filed over the break. And when did Learn file it? Doug, that's from Dogtown Ty.
Well, we weren't on last week,
we
so
didn't
this
have
might have been
shows
the best
Did you do a
of.
special? Come in and do a
Yeah,
special?
I wasn't in the station at all.
Maybe it was on the best of.
Was that another P symposium that you did?
Probably that Sinbad interview that I just kept playing over and over again. I
No.
for sure beat that up.
And if I remember correctly, I didn't say I was looking for a cat toy. I said it came up on my, I don't know if it was Amazon when I was searching for it, and this came up, and I just watched the video. And I said, it's kind of cool if you got a cat. But then now, everything on my Facebook page is this little snake thing for the cats. I watched it once, and I was looking for somebody.
Jackson told me that we have a bunch of people on hold. Is that correct? Doug, we have retired air marshal. We
Who's
have
on hold?
Johnny.
No.
Yeah, that was my reaction to that.
That was the right reaction.
That's Doug. And which lady do we have on hold?
Air 6-3? Oh, no, that's an empty
Private
line.
caller. We have no ladies. We have retired air marshals.
I guess retired air marshal gets to be the first caller of 2023.
Okay.
Sorry, Johnny.
Morning, boys. How
Hello.
are we doing?
Oh, we're doing fine. Marshall, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Was that Ty for me or Johnny?
Johnny, I think.
Johnny.
I don't
Okay.
think I
All right.
remember
You
Johnny.
just gotta double check sometimes. But Happy New Year's, everybody, especially Iggy. It's
Oh.
gonna be a great one.
So we're the fourth
2023.
He's upset with you already.
What did the peach say?
He said it's the 4th stop.
The 4th.
The
Oh,
4th,
okay,
January
sorry.
4th. He says it's too late to say Happy New Year now.
Okay. All right. Well, Happy New Year's to everybody else. Iggy, I hope
Well, thank you,
have
guy.
a normal New Year. Sort of call in, and I was one of the last callers. Unfortunately, I think Buzz or someone snuck in after me last year, but I just got to update you guys on my stats before we get going. Still first time, long time. Still low 5 figures. 5'9", about $180, 6 inches. So we're doing good.
Oh,
Doesn't he sound like Stingray a little bit?
a little bit, yeah.
But besides that, that was kind of a hijack as I was talking. And I just want to say, Iggy, I really, really, I don't know how you do it, but you managed to hijack when you weren't even on the show yesterday, and it was not talked about at all. But Jackson is in the middle of talking, and you walked near his studio and mouthed to him and asked if what's his name was in.
James
Sorry,
Carlton.
I can't. Thank you. And I just want to say that was fantastic yesterday. So I'm really proud of you for that one.
Well, Jackson, let me ask you how we would hear that, because I didn't go in the studio. I looked at you through the window.
Right, but I was giving a take while you were asking me.
Well, I didn't know.
And it was hot.
Right,
That
but you
was-
could have just walked into right in front of the glass door and
You
looked
could have
in.
just walked a couple more feet and just looked and seen. if
No,
he
I
was
think
in there.
James kind of gets leery when I do that, thinking I want my seat back when he sees me peer
that's
through the
No,
window, so I
no,
just don't do it.
No, he knows you don't want your seat, Iggy.
Don't you worry about what I do.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not worried. I just wanted to talk about it. I just thought.
Well, I didn't know he was talking, so it couldn't be hijacking. I didn't know he was talking.
You made eye contact and mouthed, or is James in there? How did you not see his lips moving?
Oh, I didn't see his lips moving.
Oh, now he's upset. I just saw him.
No, I'm not
adjust the
upset.
hat.
It's just
I'm gonna
this is
take
your
it away. I
this is your
just
total
saw
call.
him. No,
I used to tell Jeremiah Crow, if you don't want my chair, that's a problem.
Listeners a month, and it's going to be a hot year. And I said, what better way to start off the year. Not only it's historical to be the first caller, but you got to start off with something good. This is a historical TMA call that's about to happen. All right, I don't like to get ahead of myself, but you guys know I called in a couple weeks ago and did my rendition of
Be
Elvis
quiet.
song for Doug.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys recall. Well, today I have another one for you guys. And Doug, I'd like to ask if it's okay if I could sing it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a beautiful song, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Raby, if you're listening, if you want to do your remix magic, you go right ahead. But this
I'll quit
is
begging
called-
to get more airtime.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'll just get to it. I don't
Okay.
really know the name for it yet, but this is a rendition of Kathy Moore's Steadfast Eyes. Are you ready, Doug?
Yes, go ahead and sing.
Okay. We met in the bathroom that night. Walked by tight khakis, gripped your thighs. The air, it was scented and ripe. Locked eyes knew that it was mud pie.
Oh,
You really had to go pee and said, hey, come with me. I said, okay, fine. Let's go in the stall at least. Unbuckled pants. I got down on my knees.
Okay.
I said, it's brine time.
all right, that's enough.
You bathe me. No, Doug, hold on. I'm about to get to the chorus.
Hurry
I
up.
said, it's brine time. Can you bathe me, please? That's when it all began. The brain dripped on my hands and on my chest. It was so warm and wet for 36 seconds. The stall became our paradise. Just us, that toilet. What a wonderful night.
That's great.
So that's for you, Doug.
At least you sang it. It wasn't auto-tune.
Yeah, that was actually good. He sang all the way through.
Yeah, no, that's
No, it was really great. It's a really fabulous song.
that's the song that I wrote about the time when you bathed me in your brine.
Okay, put him down. Okay, put him down. Cut his mic.
I kind of like that. And it sounded kind of like Cassie.
It did sound like Cassie Moore. I thought it was Cassie.
Got a better
Put it
voice,
on it.
actually.
Brine time is just a good term.
Sounded to me like a suspension for the retired air marshal for suspension of the year. He'll be suspended a period of 2 days' time, and his name, I mean right now, is going into the suspension logule. 2 days' time? No, I don't think it does feel very good for him.
Well, it didn't feel good in the engineer design facilities text inbox. Tell this air marshal to jump out of a plane into an ocean of bleach. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen Craig Paquette. Well, January 4th, and we've locked up the worst caller of 2023 already. That's from Conclusion. The stripper, get this stupid mother effer off the air. Glumpy, Triple X says, I hate this prick. From the 636, tell this guy to drink jet fuel. From Classy, like Perry Ellis, this dude sounds castrated. And finally from the 314, guys, what happened to that Sinbad show that used to be on the station?
I don't get it. I look back. It played twice the entire break. That's a 2-week, again, my 6-day rule. I can't believe we're reverting back to the topic. It played twice.
People now think we're the Sinbad show.
I don't get it.
We take off a week and we become the Sinbad show because the interview played over and over and over again.
It's the first thing I did after the show as I went back to Jackson's booth, got into the got into our software to see how many times it played. It played twice.
Oh, it did.
And not even. It was like 10 days out from each other.
I got about
just don't get
22 interviews in there somewhere. I could have thrown some of those in there.
It feels like it was on a continuous loop.
I don't get. It's a great inside joke. But
I think the guy must have liked the Sinbad show.
He talked
must
NBA.
have turned on his radio in that time period and heard it twice. That's the only way.
The Sinbad program that was airing during our vacation. What is this?
We need to have him on again. He's still around, right?
He's ill.
Yeah,
Is
he's
he?
very ill. Yeah.
He's very ill.
Yeah. Man, he's good.
He was a great guest. He was super cool, too. And he hung out during the commercial break and BS'd with us for a while. Big fan of Doug talking about the association. Jackson, you would have loved him. I assume that was before you were on the show, right?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I remember, I guess I cut that clip for when we started coming over here, and he, like, couldn't find the studio, so Iggy had to go, like, flag him down in the parking lot where there's nothing in there. It's like, just look for the Hummer, I guess.
Yeah.
We've worked at some places that it's been tough for guests to find. We were above the sex shop there down by the river.
That's right.
Remember St. Charles? We were about like the Katy Trail.
We were like an apartment complex in St. Charles.
Apartment complex.
It's where they were like rebuilding Katy Trail, so like it was so loud and obnoxious too out there. But yeah, there were people living like above our studio.
Let's see what we got here. Guys, last week, the entire break, the last week of the show, it was on a constant loop. That's from the 314.
Okay, you do know the definition of constant loop, right? Because I'll bet $1 million it wasn't.
$1 million is in the middle of the pot, Doug, if you want to call.
All right. Well, you should know.
Doug, your definition of a constant loop is that played continuously without anything else.
Right. It plays from start to finish, and then when it's over, it plays from start to finish again.
Which clearly it did not. So I'm willing to bet that.
Okay.
I mean, it was less than a third of the day, and these people were. It's like the Sinbad. They hear Sinbad once. It's like, oh wow.
And now our show is
Sinbad Hour.
Our show has been rebranded to the Sinbad program.
We don't even have the naming right to that. We can't even name our show that.
But nobody complains that once this show's over, it plays again for 3 hours.
That was my point too. Like I did the same pattern as we do in this. Like I don't just throw it in there at random. I do it at the same time to where we usually play rerun shows.
Yeah.
And I peppered in a Sinbad. You know.
Maybe Sinbad should be peppered in every day. People seem to like it. They like him more than they like this show.
Maybe I'll just put that on our podcast feed. Like instead of Pepper and Genie, I'll just upload the Sinbad interview every day.
The morning after with Sinbad.
You know the show that I've never heard? I never go back and listen to shows.
No.
I don't either.
But how the whole I slept with 500 girls thing started, because I believed him. We were at a remote that only you and I did at like a truck stop. There were like nothing but like trucks around.
Some rough days in the radio business.
There have been some rough remotes that we have been a part of.
I think it was a trucking company. Nice. But we're out in a parking lot, and we were the only two there. I guess everybody else.
That would make
off.
sense.
Those are the days where I'm glad I was in studio and I had to be in studio.
Well, none of the other hosts were there. It's just me and Tim for some reason, and that's where the 500 was brought up. But I'd like to go back and listen to it to see where we did the show from, because I just remember a parking lot with trucks. Nothing else.
I don't ever remember doing a show.
You weren't there. Nobody else was there. It was
Where
me
was
and
I?
Tim. I don't know.
I was probably negotiating with Sinbad to come on the program.
Was I Furla? No, I'm probably in the
No,
studio.
I lined that up.
You lined up what?
Sinbad.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Who else would have got him?
Lanny Spicer.
Pete? Spicer. Gangster Pete.
I can imagine Pete getting text from Mickey, hey, you mind calling Sinbad for me?
He was in town. He was doing stand-up.
Yeah, it must have been.
Trill, Doug, this is called constructive criticism. I like constructive criticism.
Okay, sure, me too.
From the Trill side of, I love TMA, and I love TMA all day. But is there any way to display the current date of the segment running?
Ooh.
I thought that was done. I recall being in a meeting with the digital team, man, early last year, probably within the first 2 months of us being here, and we requested that, and they discussed it. And I thought that was the case. And when I'm driving along, I thought that it doesn't say the date, maybe, but it says what the segment is. Jackson?
Yeah.
It definitely says what the segment is.
Okay, but it doesn't have the date.
It does not.
But I'm a beautiful baby boy, and guess what I do when I name these? I download them from the day that the show is. So, like, when it's downloaded, it's the show date, and then the segment, and then a bunch of other letters after that. So I save it in the best of folder before uploading it as the date and segment and then the name of it. So if we do need to, I'm sure they probably have an algorithm to make it easier. But if we need to individually write them down and put them in, I have saved them that way that we could. So you're welcome, guys.
Oh, wow. So that means it's going to get done?
I mean, it can't. I mean, they just have to tell me how to like where I need to go and put the dates in. And I can individually.
How about that?
I think that is a good idea, though. That's actually. I like that idea.
Jackson, I believe Hubbard Marty was in that meeting, and I think he was talking about being able to do it because maybe he was doing the same thing with the K-Sheet HD2 show.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So if you want to email him and include me on that, and
I mean, it's gonna.
Plowhawk,
We'll have to take all the ones that we have already and put that in there. So that'll be the first. I mean, I'm sure I could do it like pretty easily.
Doug, it's a constructive criticism Wednesday. Here.
What was the date of the Sinbad program?
Okay, we were in Kirkwood.
Ew.
So it had to be between 17, 18, 19, and probably wouldn't have been in studio in 20 or 21. So I
think
would say it was
19.
19. I'm going to put action on 2019 again. I'm going to join you in 2019. Doug, 2019 for Sinbad.
To me, it seems longer ago than that, but what do I know?
See, I think it was 2018.
It's been hard to get into word edgewise with Sinbad blabbing all the time.
Tim, the segment name used to be on there, but now it's not anymore. It's from the
Oh,
314.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't believe that's the case.
Jackson's 3-betting it.
Yeah. It might, like, the full segments, like the ones that we do every day, are just the title or the date. It's 1/03/23, segment 2. But any, like, all-day segments, like best of segments, would be titled. And if it's not on your radio, it's your radio, not on our end. Not like to, like, dunk on listeners. I'm just saying that would be the case because every segment is titled.
And the only
So there you
ones
go.
I can officially date are the ones that go back far enough on the podcast website. So I think that 2016 or 2015, if I'm
Was
not
it
mistaken.
2016 or 2015? Because I know you go back on the website and listen to shows.
But the
and
other ones,
stuff.
they're
Did we
so
tease
easy
well
to
there?
find.
Constructive criticism part 2. This is also from Trillsider because this is a big constructive
Man.
criticism. January is this 4th, Nurse? Is it
Yes.
the 4th? I think.
Our anniversary.
Oh, that's right. That was
No
our
plaque.
First anniversary.
No plaque.
You're not happy about that, I can tell.
No, I'm just kidding.
You really wanted a plaque.
No, I was just kidding.
You thought you deserved a plaque, earned
Not
a
me.
plaque.
The show
God,
was
Hewlett's been on
the
KC
show has been here a
since-
year.
Like, what year did Hewlett start in KC?
74
4 or 6, I feel like.
or 5, I think.
Is that right?
Maybe 76. That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. What did that mean?
Spirit of 76? Is that what that was?
1776.
Oh, okay.
I think 76, yeah.
Well, I know you're plaque happy, and there was no plaque here today, except on our
happy.
teeth.
It's the show's anniversary, not mine. So it would be a show plaque. Not
No,
my
you should
plaque.
get the plaque.
KG in O-Town is listening this morning, and he says it was May 10th, 2019 that Sinbad was on.
May 10, 2019.
Boy, this KG in O-Town.
Keep trying.
How would you know that?
What do you mean keep trying? Was that a tribute to Dionne Warwick, Elton John? Doug, who else was in that song? That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep trying.
Smiling, keep trying, knowing you were always on.
Was Gladys Knight in that? Was Gladys Knight in that?
be.
Elton
That's
John,
for sure.
Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight.
Jack Wagner?
I don't think Jack Wagner was in it. I think he was working on his wedge game.
Dionne Warwick, you said her?
Yeah.
Diana Ross?
I don't think Diana Ross was in there. Boy, tick-tock.
Probably Sinbad. He's been in everything else.
Oh, that'd be Kevin Hart.
Trillsider's Kevin Hart criticism part 2. Now that TMA all days are running more, are they running more now?
No, they're not. They just ran more when we were not here.
Okay,
Which obviously
that
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Dead air is frowned upon here in the radio industry.
Can Tim begin each show by stating the current date after saying 7:07 a.m.?
Dude, that sounds terrible. I'll answer for Tim. The answer is no.
January 1st,
We
2023.
would have to
There.
reload every segment, and it sounds easy again, but like that is 500 additional things we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, you got nothing to do today, Tim. Why don't you just go back and voice over all the
Oh, that's beyond a day.
January 1st, 2018.
That sounds
January
like Ned
2nd,
Reynolds.
2018. January 3rd, 2018. That wouldn't take you long.
Again, if Hubbard Corporate came to me or Tommy or somebody said, "Hey, we need to get this done," absolutely. But I would say that's probably not the best idea for our time.
Guys, morning, any chance we can get the golf video before you rerun the Sinbad Variety Week again? Thanks. That's from the Coalition of Married Listeners. Husbands looking to third wheel Iggy's date with our wives.
I think at this point, release it the week.
That's a coalition now?
I don't know any. Joey did say it'll get done this year.
So it's a coalition of cucks who sit around just hoping that they can go on the date that you're going on with their wives?
I don't
This is
believe-
what's happening?
I don't believe that happens.
You imagine that's a service?
Coalition.
What's it named?
The Coalition of Married Listeners, Husbands looking to
Oh, that's-
third wheel Iggy's date with our wives.
It's a hell of a group.
It's gotta be disappointing when your wife says, "I'm going out tonight." Really? Where are you going? I have a date with Iggy. It's disappointing.
And you form a coalition. That's the only thing you can do.
I know a couple women that their husbands know me and we're friends.
But they don't join you.
Well, I take them out as friends.
That's still kind of odd.
Why is it odd?
Well, it's odd to go on a date with a married woman, even when the husband knows it. No, you don't think that's odd?
You hot wifing, bro?
No, obviously not. It's not weird.
That's the cat wifing, bro.
He's like a bullpen catcher, just warming him up when mommy comes home.
Where is this coalition located?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know of it.
Now you're dunking on the listener.
Central Corridor, I have to imagine.
I would imagine so.
That is really dunking on a listener when your date is married wife.
What do you? It's not a date.
Well, you went out to eat, didn't you?
So if I play golf with a lady, and she's married, and we just have a nice golf date because she likes to play golf, what is that?
That doesn't feel like a date.
Well,
going out to dinner, a nice dinner.
If there's wine involved, it's a date.
Look, I don't know a lot of people, so.
First, I'm a sex addict.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I know a lot of people, just
Wow.
don't really hang out with a lot of them.
Well, still a great night.
Yeah.
Retired Air Marshal, who was the first caller of 2023, is now texting in and says that is definitely a cuck. These husbands know the out-of-water salmon has cheated with married women before. That's the retired Air Marshal. You're just taking them to dinner, Iggy. You're not having...
Yes. That's it. Friends.
How about after dinner, where do you go?
Home?
Oh, you take them to your home.
Bill.
No, to each other's homes.
Do you walk her to the door?
No, they usually drive.
You kiss her goodnight right in front of a husband.
Why would they drive?
Because I ask.
You ask them to drive.
Yeah, if they live too far, I just ask them to drive.
Man.
You cheapskate.
No, that means it's just friends. If it was a date, I'd go pick them up. It's not a date. I'd say, okay, we'll go to dinner, you drive.
Well, don't you meet at the restaurant then? You get like chauffeured. That's sick.
There is some anger in this engineered design facilities.
Why? Over what?
Iggy, you have literally stated on these here airwaves that you have slept with some of your friends' wives and the husbands are not aware of it.
Yes.
Jesus, that's from the 314.
Yes, back in the day.
Nice.
Like how long ago?
So does that mean now if I take somebody out who's married and we're just friends?
How long is back in the day? 5 years or 50?
No, back in my early days. I don't know a lot of wives and couples now.
Huh.
So yeah,
I'm fascinated that you make them drive.
Why?
I'll go out to eat with you, but you have to drive me? That's not what the guy says.
What if they don't have clothes?
Well, that's their fault.
The guy says, sure, I'll be happy to come get you.
I guess they don't get to split dinner then.
Why do you care about what I do and how I get there?
Because it's fascinating. It's so off the grid that it's fascinating.
Not off the grid. Some people like driving. I love driving my Munganess car. But if I don't have to, I don't.
Well, that's such a nice setup for me, Doug. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, official automotive provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Tim McKernan Show podcasted now, title sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN as well, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. I was texting with the great Clayton Patterson last night, and I believe I'm going to be getting my new car from Clayton here over the next couple of days.
What are you getting?
Wonderful.
Same thing I have right now.
Okay.
Just getting 22-inch rims.
Well, that's a nice
Oh, the Hummer limo? You're getting another one? Damn.
So Munganess is the official automotive provider, and even if you didn't get your car from there, get your car serviced there. It's Munganess at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Jackson, why don't you tell the people about Muggsy? Doug Wes and Jackson.
Where is he now?
Muggsy.
What's up?
Is he on the phone?
He's looking at a game film of the Razorbacks.
I wore my Muggsy jeans yesterday.
How'd they treat your acorns?
Well, Jackson is right, because when you get them out of the wash in the dryer and you put them on, they're really tight. But then it takes like 5 minutes and they just stretch out. And they're perfect again.
Bill is stretching. Bill is stretching.
So every time I wash them and then I get them out of the dryer and I put them on, I go, God, these things shrink? No. Once you put them on, 5 minutes later, they just kind of expand and they're back to normal again.
They hug your nuts.
Yeah.
Very,
I know
very
Jackson's
comfortable.
fond of them.
They're almost like rubber, they feel like when you...
But, sorry, was that called a phone?
Yeah, were you on the phone
Yeah,
again?
we-
Without another female
No,
listener?
I can't type an email and listen to the show at the same time.
I don't understand.
I can't.
Is it your
focus.
ADD thing?
Yeah, I can't
Really?
I can't.
So you have
that.
to turn off the show to type an email?
If I'm sending an email that I actually have to put a little effort into.
What is this email about?
This was the email to Marty about the best of segments. I can't listen to the show at the exact same time. I won't be able to do both.
I noticed yesterday Jackson was asking me his whatever it was, Little Piddles recap report or something.
Return rundown.
Thank you. And I was answering the question, and I could see he started staring off into space. And I go, "You all right?" And he just said, "Yeah, I just get distracted." He has
Really?
but he's very open about his ADD.
Yeah, it just happens like that. Yeah, I'm also very open about my Mugsy pant.
Nice. Oh, seamless.
Yeah.
And they know what you're talking about then.
And they feel open. They feel like they're just.
Your pants feel open?
They feel like they're a part of you.
Oh.
And so you put them on, you're just man, it's like an old friend is what they are. Say goodbye to old tight jeans that make your legs feel like they're being squeezed, because Mugsies are crafted from their insane stretch material that moves and grooves with you and creates airflow down below. The most comfortable and stylish men's jeans on planet Earth, because they're designed by dudes for dudes. They're never baggy and they're never tight. Plus they're so soft you'll feel like you're wearing sweatpants, and they're available in any color you could ever want. And this winter, they're changing the game as the official sponsor of Warm Nuts, because their new line of jeans with fleece and flannel literally stitched inside the entire leg. Plausy has a pair. Make sure your acorns stay perfectly nice and toasty. Head to Mugsy.com right now and grab some insanely comfortable style for everyone in your life. Staples that every guy needs in his closet. Jeans, flannels, jackets, you name it, they make it look incredible. So use promo code TMA for 10% off your entire order with free shipping and free returns. Again, that's Mugsy.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your entire order. Experience life-changing comfort with Mugsy.
There it is, Mugsy, a wonderful sponsor here. The Ryan Kelly Morning After. You can get involved on the program. Retired Air Marshal, now in the books as the first caller of 2023. 636-9004 TMA, Steve Schmidt, Kia, North County phone lines. You can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. KG in O-Town. I mean, can he go back-to-back for Listener of the Year?
It's never been done before.
Never been done before.
No.
It's never been done before. And we have the all-new Listener of the Month presented by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. You go to TMASTL.com and sign up to be the TMA Listener of the Month, and then the dais will decide. It's all at TMASTL.com. It is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from our Michelob Ultra Studios. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. Michelob Ultra. How do you
do?
That's it. That's actually it. And it's interesting because we had the Retired Air Marshal as our first caller perform Steadfast Eyes. Chris Raby has done a remix of Real Friends by Cassie Moore, which is my personal favorite. Plowhawk, do you happen to have that audio available?
Oh, I'd like to hear it.
She has more than one song.
Oh, she's a banger.
Freight line to a real. That's some shit that you don't do. I'ma stay right for my real.
What's he saying?
That's some shit don't go do. Go to commas. Go some commas. Go some commas. Do this wrong.
When black and white turns into blurry, everything feels tipsy-turvy. Fumbles have my rep at war. They're the troops that stand before me. I fall down, but I don't ever worry. Look and reach. I don't hit the ground, cause they always catch me. See the real me, and they never blink.
Well, she's the best, because we were flipping through old photo albums, and I was like, that's not me. What am I wearing?
100,000 to 100,000. 100,000 on 100,000. 200,000, 500,000. $1 million help money shot. Got some promise, yeah. Got some promise, yeah. Got some promise, yeah. 40,000 to 100,000. 100,000 on 100,000. 100,000, 500,000. $1 million help money shot.
She looks at me and she's like,
Katy Perry, yeah, sir. Katy Perry, yeah.
Hey, Lipton! Throw me on those ones and twos.
I should, oh, yeah. I should break it, oh, yeah.
Real friends are the blue skies and your happy days.
Katy Perry, yeah, sir. Katy Perry, yeah.
Give it to me now, give it to me now, give it to me now, give it to me now.
Fake friends are the clouds.
Sir, Katy Perry, yeah.
I wanna lick you from your head to your toes, and I wanna move from the bed down to the floor, and I wanna you make it so good I don't wanna leave, but I gotta know what's your fantasy.
wanna lick you from your head to your toes. And I wanna move from the bed down to the floor. When I wanna, you make it so good. I know what I need, but I gotta know what's so fat. I got my real friends. I got real friends. I got my real friends. But I gotta know what's so fat. I got in my cup. Who's? I'll save some mangoes for you.
I like my music real loud, real loud. Can you turn that shit up for me right now, right now? Here it come, there it go. Ask your homies, ask your hoes. If you didn't, now you know. Never keep your pockets low. I like my music real loud, real loud. Can you turn that shit up for me right now, right now? Here she come, there she go. Never chasing after hoes. If you didn't, now you know. Never keep your pockets low. 40,000 to 100,000, 100,000 on 100,000, 100,000, 500,000, $1 million over my town.
My family, Miami, shout out to my hometown of Atlanta. I hear you, and I hold your hand up.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work, hallelujah, one nation, under God, real, getting money from the start. I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, getting work, hallelujah.
How long is
one
this?
nation, under God, real, getting money from the start. 40,000 to 100,000, 100,000 on 100,000, 100,000, 500,000, $1 million over my show, over my show. That's never my show. Whipping work.
Mangoes for you.
That's never my show. Whipping work.
Mangoes for you.
Hallelujah. Pretty, slit it, fit it, bomb, rigid. With it, sit, go, throw that money in the air, watch it fall to the floor. Persian for the boss, rent, need it for the boss, all the fun, yeah, watch it, yeah, cater pure, yeah, serve, cater pure, yeah, I should roll, yeah, I should break it off, yeah, break it off, yeah, make myself
I don't love it.
Ali, boo-boo, let's do my hair again. I'll bring the wine.
But I need medication after that.
Doug, that was a Chris Raby production.
Oh, man.
It was a mix of Cassie Moore's Real Friends.
The mumble rap, like in between.
Let me tell you, if you take Cassie Moore out of there, I think you got a rap hit.
Yeah.
I don't know who these other people are, but it was pretty good if you take her out of there.
Did you hear Future in there?
Future, Juicy J, Mac Miller, Rick Ross.
No, I didn't recognize
Well, you
it.
put all them together. That's a song there.
Well, all those songs are
great,
established
great
hits.
music.
I know, but if you put them all
Fantastic
together,
music.
Raby may just come up with a #1 hit there. Take her out of there.
A polarizing response in the engineered design facilities text inbox from the 314. Legit fantastic. From Jonathan Titsworthy. Make this stop. From Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
Raby is a gifted genius. Maybe KG in Oaktown can hire him to drop Ponderosa coupons from the TMA blimp. KG in Oaktown is hiring people? God.
I guess he's
That's a
quite
tough
name for himself.
strategy. He's already trying to get hired, but yet hiring a staff.
Yeah, Iggy, those were rap hits. Thanks. That's KG in O-Town.
Well, I don't listen to rap, so I wouldn't know. But I know quality when I hear it.
It's just crap.
That was hilarious.
No, I kind of dug
Nonsense.
that. Other than Cassie talking about picking mangoes.
Instant banger. Jackson can dance alone to this at Crowded Tin Roof. That's
I was
how
dancing in my
Carlos
little studio here.
Spicy Wiener.
You were dancing to that?
Yeah. I put some commas by Future. Fire.
Hey, Doughboy, stick to operating that blimp that drops dollar off buzz cuts to Hair Saloon for Men. That's Nathan from the east side of Alton. This is absolute trash, B. That's from Manchild, 79.
Yes, it was.
Jonathan Mardukas says, make it stop. The superfluous H has definitely done better work. That's from Flip Wilson. Kevin's brother Jack Demoff says, my favorite part of Cassie Moore songs is thinking about the guys in the booth who mixed it, knowing it's terrible, and then realizing that her checks are still clearing, so they just shoot her a thumbs up through the window.
That probably happens with a lot of musical acts.
That's from Kevin's brother Jack Demoff. And then Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack says, banger remix. Speaking of banging, Tim, your guys' first ever show on Hubbard played yesterday, and I offered you the opportunity to taste my wife during that show.
Oh.
Just wanted to let you know that 2023 has a lot of the same opportunities for you if wanted. Happy New Year to everyone. Doug, that's Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack
Bobby
making,
Turner.
I believe, our first proposition of
Okay.
2023.
Yeah, I played that. I'm going to beat one into the ground, too.
Sinbad was not on our first show here.
No. And it was 1 year ago today, right?
Yep.
I keep
No.
looking for plaques. Nothing.
I was expecting I got here early thinking, boom, you know. Gonna
Marching
get here,
bands,
Gonna get
yeah.
here after setting up the parade.
Cakes, yeah.
Move the balloons out of the way as you come in.
What did we get? Bupkas.
Yeah, I was at least expecting snacks.
We still have a job after a year, so that's something.
Yeah.
I think
It's an
that-
upset.
Couldn't be happier.
Guys, you were just missing Pitbull in there. That's from caller Buzz.
That's who I thought I heard.
Yeah, we could have put Pitbull in there.
But can you honestly understand many of the words?
Not
It's
a
just
lot of them.
garbled crap.
The beat is where where those songs really take hold.
I think people like it because they think they're supposed to like it, because it's
I hate-
cool.
I hate a lot
don't
of
think
it,
they
Doug.
like
I'm
it
with
because they really like it. It's just this is a cool thing to do. In my day, it was heavy metal, acid rock. You were supposed to like it because that was cool. And if you didn't like it, you were a wimp. You were a real wussy if you didn't like head banging rock. And I think that's what this is with some of this rap stuff. You like it because you think it's cool to say you like it. It's garbage, most of it.
Guys, I would have liked it if only it was a little longer. Thanks. That's from 3
It was 4.5 minutes.
Gosh.
You had to sink in there for that one.
Was aux on or off for that?
It was on. I probably should have turned it on. I didn't know we were going to have
100%.
45 seconds of, samples.
That's some #1 hits in there. They're gonna come for our head.
Yeah.
YouTube's going to shut us down on that one. I
Somebody
guess.
should send that to Cassie.
She's probably okay.
She'd probably use it, and then she'd find out it cost her $1 million to pay these guys to use
She'll
it.
post it. Look, feature.
You can't just take other people's music and throw it in
Well,
there.
she wouldn't know that until, what's this?
I just dropped by the YouTube chat to see what it was doing, and Tom Etling asks the question, Happy New Year. Can you guys please provide the community an update on passport procurement? Signed, concerned citizens for transparent disclosure of international travel restrictions. That's from Tom Etling.
Yeah, reasonable request.
I received mine. My wife received hers. Plowhawk, what is your status?
I haven't gotten it yet.
I'm
kind
a
of
little worried. I'm getting a little worried.
I don't know if I'm concerned yet. Because I did mine, I think 6 days was the time between you and
I feel
I.
like I got mine before we went on break.
Oh, no, you did. I was
Yeah.
saying, like, in terms of when we did paperwork and when our checks were individually cashed, I think it was about 6 days apart.
Now, if you and Iggy do not receive your passports,
Well,
Madison is still going without you, right?
Yes, but there's not going to be a situation where I will not be there, Doug. I promise.
Oh,
there you go.
I was just thinking, if the worst happens, and the way things are so screwed up now, it could happen. You and Iggy will still be here in the booth while we're down there in Jamaica.
I think my
on the
main
beach?
problem is I did everything I needed to do. I paid the extra. I'm $200 into this passport. I am not going to Chicago and paying another $600. Not on my.
Is that what it is?
No.
It's $600 for the quick passports. I ain't doing that. That means that free vacation just turned into an actual paying for a Jamaican vacation.
Yeah.
It's just not in the wheelhouse. Not going to drive 4 hours each way for that. So I'm hoping that it'll be this week. That's where I gauged it when I originally did it.
Yeah.
That second week of December. So.
Doesn't a passport feel like that should be a post office type
Dude,
of
I
thing?
told you you should go to the DMV and they should make one like an ID.
Yeah.
You have the capability. I would love to be a fly on the wall in these when they get the mail in for the passports. I'd love to see how quickly they move and what exactly they actually do. I mean, the application's like 2 pages. It just look at your basic information.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can verify all that in about 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, tops.
There's the photo. You already have the photo.
Yeah.
Now it's just go to the photocopier. Like, that's it. Like, and then you put it in a damn booklet and call it a damn day, man.
mean,
like, it shouldn't take 8 weeks.
The police can run your license plate number on a computer and instantly know everything about you. You would think the government could do that as well and say, if this guy's okay or this guy's had problems, we better look at this one, better pull that
In
one.
my head, I'm thinking of somebody at a computer, and there's like a tube, like a bank, right next to him. Boom! Here's one passport information. Okay, we're gonna look at that. Yep, that's good. Here's the photo. On to the next guy, and then that person creates the passport. Boom.
How about this? I got this text here from General Sales Manager of TMA and 101 ESPN, Doug Kelly Hanna.
No,
Great people.
Addressing the plaque.
Where is the damn thing?
Happy 1-year anniversary. It flew by, and yet it feels like you guys have been a part of the Hubbard family for years. I wish I was there to decorate the studio with something stupid and present Iggy with his plaque, but we'll definitely celebrate when I am back in the office. So what a wonderful sentiment there. And she said, although launching TMA at Hubbard was one of the busiest times in my career, it was also the start of an incredible journey, and can't wait to see what 2023 brings. So what a wonderful sentiment. She apologizes. She apologizes, though, Iggy, that she can't present you with the plaque.
Well, she's on IR
so
right now.
richly, she is on.
Well, two things. One, get back soon. We miss you, and hope you're feeling better. Two, it's not my plaque.
You wanted
this
the plaque.
A team plaque.
No, you wanted your
a
own.
TMA plaque that we can hang in our new studio. Not congratulations Iggy on 1 year. It's congratulations TMA on 1 year. This is a team effort. This isn't about me.
You'll get the plaque about the time you get your passport.
It would be funnier, though, if it was
Right around
congrats
the
to
golf
Iggy.
video.
The balloon party listeners actually got together and gave Jackson and I a plaque yesterday.
Did they really?
did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was an honor.
There is a new text number over there, and that did not play well.
No, it did not.
And so that limited Jackson's trauma yesterday, because many of our old friends were not able to figure out the new text number. And so there were you had to really want it to get through to insult us yesterday.
Yeah,
And some did, but
they didn't get their chance to. Hey, I gave a Donovan Mitchell update. My
Doug,
sports Center
71
update.
points for Donovan Mitchell. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so they didn't. They couldn't come after me for it.
On a
Felt good.
lane violation, though, that wasn't called on a free throw. It was actually 69, but I'm not going to be that guy. It's a 70-point.
Do they ever call a lane violation?
I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
3
live.
seconds in the lane, is that a thing anymore?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's just
It's
not
a thing, but
they
like,
call it.
you could put your toe outside the line and that restarts it, I think.
NBA's got defensive 3 seconds. That'll get you. Shout out Kareem and Wilt.
You can't play defense in the lane for 3 seconds?
Not in the NBA. Because guys will just camp there and block shots all day.
Everybody shoots 3-pointers anyway. You can't block a 3-pointer from the lane.
That's fair. There's a guy who jumps up in the air and blocks the vision, your field of vision from the rim. He plays for the Celtics. It's wild. He just jumps straight up in the air.
Well, that seems like that should be legal.
It is.
Good morning. I'm hoping KG and O-Town and Chris Raby can put a TMA fest together where Los Lonely Boys and Raby will open for Cassie Moore at the Hazelwood Fazoli's soft opening, sponsored by Sherry's Berries and the car dealership that got guilted into giving all of Tim's peers free cars.
I ain't got a free
Thanks.
car.
That's from the Coalition of Married Listeners' Husbands looking to third wheel Iggy's date with our wives.
It's coalition.
I've been trying to duct tape this CRV for as long as it can take me.
Coalition seems to be building steam.
Yeah, how many members are in that
They're a
thing?
force in this coalition. Well, how many listeners' wives have you gone on dates with recently?
One.
Over the course of your life, how many times have you been out with a married woman?
I can't even count.
Wow.
Oh, that's endearing.
Like a dozen or more?
Again, that was way back in my day of,
But still,
hanging out at Balaban's and...
within 40 years, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
You think a dozen or more?
I don't know. I would go to bars, and I didn't know if they're married or not, and then go home with them, and they say, well...
My wife was proud when I got home.
Big Al's
I
wife?
do have a husband. Mojito, many times. So I don't know, but not lately.
I think the most intimidating part for the husband is knowing Iggy has slayed 500 dragons.
Wow.
Again, my
And the
early
confidence, the experience, it's all there.
Yeah.
You're wine and dining at a really nice restaurant.
Doug, he's a well-known, sophisticated lover.
And
He
now
is.
that I said I'm doing no more work, I'm not going to get many anymore.
I don't know. Some like the challenge. It's like when women date like struggling guys that are just trying to make it. They like that, be the one that helps, change their life. And so that's maybe where they hop on with Iggy.
I think a lot of these guys whose wives have dated Iggy are worried that they're going to be able to match up to that stallion.
That pony.
You're going way back.
No.
No, just friends.
Well, we'll go back to last weekend.
I have friends.
Oh, sometimes
And I went
friends
to
turn into
Andrea's, too,
lovers.
so I was taking care of a sponsor.
Max.
Max was in the kitchen.
Was he really?
Yeah, he came out and said hi.
That Andrews don't play.
Oh, it looked bomb.
I had ribeye 2 days in a row because I didn't just way too much to eat, so I took it home next night. Little lobster tail.
You took your lobster tail home.
No, I didn't have lobster tail. I had steak, but I had enough steak left over that I had another ribeye, and I threw a lobster tail in the grill.
Surf and turf.
I don't play, boy.
Cut that off.
And no one stole it this time. You were able to grill without it being stolen right off the grill.
Yeah, I mean, that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Just maybe they're homeless. I don't know.
Good morning, Iggy. How many marriages have you destroyed? Thanks, Hunchback of Von Castle.
I don't believe I've destroyed any.
There you
They were
go.
already destroyed before I met the woman. Obviously, if they're sleeping with another guy, they're not happy in their marriage. So.
But you don't count the dinner as destroying the marriage. That's just a
No.
dinner between friends.
Yes.
So this coalition, Doug.
They don't know where they're coming from.
And her husband's a great guy.
First of all, you don't have a
They played
mom.
golf together. And if he would have come, that'd have been great.
Why didn't he come?
It's something to do, I guess. I don't know.
If you're also friends with a husband, why doesn't he get to dine too instead of sitting out in the car? That's from the Wentzville Ween.
Oh, he has to sit out in the car.
I said he could have come too.
He actually
Until the
sat in
bill
the
comes,
car?
then he comes in and pays it, and then just walks out.
Yeah, well,
That's
if you're
a
coming,
massive
if you're
cookie.
coming, you're paying. But I don't know, maybe something to do. I'm not. No, you can't come. No, he wants to come. Come.
But you made him sit in the car. That's a Fazoli's
No,
cucking.
he wasn't in the car. Oh God! I ran into 3 listeners too that night we were there.
Really? Did they ask you to sign?
I couldn't even go out and smoke a cigarette. Hey, Iggy, love the show.
Oh.
It's hard being you. It's hard being this level of fame.
Love the
It
Sinbad
gets to be
show.
very
Can't even-
uncomfortable.
Can't even have a nice
show.
dinner. No, they
Love
were,
you and Sinbad in the mornings at HD2.
they were very friendly. It was nice talking.
There'll be an article about Sinbad joins the morning after.
There was another guy there that DM'd me and said, "Sorry, Iggy, I wanted to say hi to you, but I don't want to bother you." We had dinner there that night too. There were like four people, 4 listeners there. So the spots are working. People
Yeah, I
listen-
was
people
actually.
listen to Tim.
I was at Mariachi's, this Mexican place, the other day, and a wife flagged me down. It was me and Madison, and we were on a couple's date with another couple we know, and we were on our way out, and she like flagged me over, which I thought was
Using
ra-
semaphore?
Well, I thought maybe I forgot something on my table because like,
Like
we
one
were
of those guys on a
going.
Navy ship with flags?
No,
this way
just
and that
kind of
way?
the way, you know, that would be
Oh,
funnier.
Yeah.
And she goes, my husband's too embarrassed. But he listened to the show and is a big fan. And so, you know, I got to talking to the couple, and they were actually with his parents, who had no idea what the show was. And those are tough spots to where, like, you want to be humorous, you want to kind of talk about cucking or something, you know. You want to make the listeners laugh, but also you have 2 70-year-olds over here that you don't want to just, like,
Go easy.
shock the world and ruin the entire evening.
So they spit out their food, their dentures come flying out of their mouths.
But they couldn't have been nicer.
Oh.
Guys, Hot Wife Autumn was married and sounded like she had a pretty good, happy relationship. Stop making things up, Peach Pit. Peach Pit, Doug. Peach Pit After Dark with Nat.
I mean, a hot wife means the husband knows she's going out and sleeping with other guys. So what's your point?
Yeah, and stop with the name calling.
Yeah.
Peach Pit.
I haven't heard that one. Why? Because what I'm wearing?
I don't know. I did not like it when they called you
orange hue.
I didn't like it when they called you an ashen sweet potato.
What was that one?
They're running out of names.
Mugatu.
Someone called you beef stroganoff yesterday.
What was the Mugatu
Ebenezer
one?
Mugatu.
Ebenezer Mugatu.
I love beef stroganoff.
Yeah, it's a nice treat.
Little Tommy Tribbins won Texter of the Year in 2022. And he's out in the parking lot this morning and says, "Happy 1-year Hubbard anniversary, boys. Except you, Ken. Your workout put in the last year was probably equal to about 4 months, give or take. 8 more months to go, Slick." That's from Little Tommy Tribbins, and he is the Texter of the Year for 2022.
I voted for him. I don't know why.
I thought that was supposed to be a secret ballot. We keep saying who we voted for.
Well, I do. You guys don't.
Right.
So it's not so secret. But that's only one vote. You don't know who everybody else voted for.
No clue.
I had Herb. Too many people saying who they voted for Rookie of the Year. Herb got mad at me.
Why?
Because he did the math, and I couldn't have voted for him.
I voted for Herb.
Yeah, see, that's now you put me out to pasture there, Plowhawk.
Look, I'm gonna be straight up. That hog don't play.
Okay.
What is that for new listener?
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for Herb. So you got 3 other people.
Maybe we have
Doug
a
and
problem
Tim
with
didn't say they
election
voted for him.
integrity.
Herb does have the trophy, though, for Rookie of the Year.
That is great.
Mr. Licks didn't want it.
Well, he don't want to pick it up. Then we know who he is, and we know that he's a liar.
What's he a liar about? Oh, his wealth?
He has wealth.
Man, the FBI special agents working the Strode murders file are getting brazen. 3 different assets talking to Iggy outside of a restaurant is bordering on malpractice. That's from Kevin's brother Jack, and then his last name is Demoff.
I don't know what that means.
Is he implying the FBI was surveilling you and somehow they were watching you at this restaurant?
Sting operation?
Well, if they did, they saw me being very polite to 3 listeners.
I think they're concerned about what you may have done to your little pretties.
Guys, how many of Jackson's friends will be nominated next year? Thanks, that's from Hunchback of
I don't know how many rookies I'll have. And none of them contribute much, so it's not looking good for my boys.
Yeah, to tell me, you can't look us in the eye and have a straight face and say Herb didn't belong as a nominee.
No, trust me. I totally agree.
I mean, winning, I get it. Some may
Sweet Kai
question
was a
that.
stretch.
That was, but we needed. It's like getting content. We just needed it.
Yeah.
I talked to Kai last night.
Did you really?
You talked to Jackson's buddy, Sweet Kai?
No, SGO Kai.
Oh, that's a different Kai.
I just said I got a layover in Miami at January 28th. I want to come by the airport.
Nice hole, Kai.
Say hi.
There's not a chance in the world he will go through security and everything to come say hi to you while you
Where are
wait
we
on
flying?
a
Are we
connecting
flying
flight.
through Miami International? Or are we flying through Lauderdale?
On the way
Miami,
there,
I
it's
believe.
Miami. On the way
All
back,
right.
it's like North Carolina or whatever.
Charlotte, I think.
Charlotte.
But I don't know how long our layover is in Miami.
Was it Charlotte, North Carolina?
I didn't do the math on the...
Well, no matter how long it is, I don't think we're going to see SGO Kai.
It could be a 5-day layover and he's not coming.
If it's a 2-hour layover, I can go outside. I can just meet him outside.
Why would he want to do that?
Have a cigarette and to meet me.
Oh, Charlotte
Why,
is.
again?
I'm sure there'll be a highlight for him.
Wait, Charlotte's in North Carolina, yeah. I was right.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's hard to get anything past you.
Geography lessons here. We'll see. He may come by.
He won't come by. Why would he come by?
Just to get a picture for the fan page and finally meet me.
It'd be a big thrill for him to meet you.
Probably.
You think? I mean, you're old enough to be his grandfather, right?
So, you can't be friends with somebody that's younger than you?
It's pretty unusual.
Is SGO Angel Julia still pursuing a career in adult?
I don't know. Nobody's...
We had a wonderful interview with her, Doug. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, she was asleep.
God, I'm glad I wasn't working here for that.
It was on furlough at that time.
Yeah, I was expanding my horizons.
I couldn't believe my ears.
Yeah, I think he moved out of the SGO Kai mansion. And now I think he's living on the second floor of an apartment.
Credit card company's got wise.
So the people who own the home actually returned from vacation.
But he's selling, if you go on, he's selling all this stuff. Pool table, basketball rim, couch.
Basketball rim? You just sold the
Imagine
rim?
there's no
Just
hoop,
the rim.
Just the rim. No net either. Just
Yeah, the rim.
It's a full-on liquidation.
That's when you're down on your luck.
the net comes separately, Doug.
That was stolen. The net was stolen.
You know Deke Dotem, and he is texting in saying, do you think SGO Kai will have any upcoming live streams where he simultaneously brags about his wealth while trying to sell a 6-year-old mechanical keyboard encrusted with THC and pre?
Oh.
That was when Dotem asked him to show him his fries. So let me see what's in your freezer. And he pulled out some fries. And he was, oh my God, it was unbelievable.
Hey, Kai, what are you doing today? Well, I'm heading to the airport to go through security and have a blooming onion with this geriatric guy who won't leave me alone on Instagram. That's from KG in O-Town.
Yeah.
He will not be on the trip.
Pay $20 to park, go through security when you don't have a ticket. You couldn't even do it without a ticket, could you? He's not going to be able to get through.
I said,
You'll
if it's,
come out.
if it's a 2-hour layover, I'll go smoke a cigarette, and I'll be outside. You don't have to go through security. I do. Then I'll
So
have to
he
come
should
back
meet
through
you at
security.
the baggage area or something.
We'll figure it out if he wants to come hang out for a little bit.
He's not going to want to.
If
Guys, JV golf coach sure got in the head of the tension-whoring wall ride. That's from Starfish Street. What is a tension-whoring wall ride? There's no wall ride on our dais.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
His JV golf coach's email yesterday kind of went at some fan page people Kevin Miller
Oh.
specifically.
I was surprised that was in the filtered file, Jackson. Didn't it use real names?
Yeah, but the two guys that he's used have been used on the show before. If it was like
Is that precedent, Doug? Is that a Supreme Court precedent?
It is a precedent. Like Kevin Miller, we said Kevin Miller's name every day. So like, you know,
And he won. Didn't he win Fan Page Member of the Year?
yeah. So he's clear. He's like, if I know that it was safe, but if there was some name I didn't recognize, then I wouldn't have put it in there.
Yeah, we talk about Coxie all the time, too. Was Coxie in there?
Yeah, that was one of the other mentions. So that's why I let it through. Otherwise, I would have been like, yeah.
I got a DM from Coxie. I'm sure he won't mind me saying this.
No.
Because I believe he's the one that sent the exploding penises for the unboxing.
Sick.
What does DM say?
But I guess he went to Amazon. When he sent it, he had to put my address. So he bought some football socks for his son because his son is a field goal kicker.
Football
The socks that go all the way up to your knee.
Okay.
And he said, Iggs, I mistakenly sent these socks to your house because I still had your address.
He wants the socks back.
He came and got them Sunday. So I had to, and I opened one of them. I thought it was a late unboxing. I opened them, and I forgot he sent me this DM, and I opened it. I said, who's sending me knee-high socks?
Nice.
So then I remembered the DM from Coxie saying, I sent them to your house by mistake. So he got the opened package of socks.
Awesome.
So yeah, we've talked about Coxie before. I don't know what that has to do with Wall Ryan.
No, but it was a
email.
good sock story.
That was a sick story.
I voted for him. I don't remember what he said yesterday. I voted for JV golf coach, and I don't remember what his email was.
You can email in to compete today because KG and O-Town's in the lead for the month of January and really for all of 2023. The morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Doug, let's take a look at our Design Air Heating and Cooling forecast. here.
Okay.
Yesterday, temperatures in the upper 60s. Today, I got it at 37 with a high in the mid-40s. Maybe it will get up to 44. Temperatures in the 50s, though, on Monday and Tuesday, and then it cools off into the 40s, but back up into the 50s the following Friday. So temperate for the month of January in St. Louis at this point. But if you run into furnace issues, make sure you're working with the great Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Seth Goldcamp and his staff will take outstanding care of you, just like they've done for me and Doug as loyal clients now for a number of years. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, the official HVAC provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After and the Tim McKernan Show, and the sponsor of our email of the day. It is 8:12 in St. Louis. We will take a commercial break and come back with our appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
And it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. Want to see Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top? Get the TMA app or go to TMASTL.com. Sign in, sign up, and win. Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, the Sharp Dressed Simple Man Tour with special guest Uncle Cracker, August 17th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Find out how to win at TMASTL.com. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday. featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Nothing says barbecue like Naven's Barbecue. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a family gathering, Naven's Barbecue has an extensive menu for any palate. From slow smoked Texas style brisket to award-winning smoked chicken wings. All Naven's Barbecue is wood smoked and all their meat is from local and regional farmers. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook for daily specials and holiday meal packages. Stop by their location at the intersection of Grand and Arsenal in South City today for the best barbecue in the STL. Online at navensbbq.com. That's NAVINSBBQ.com.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Win tickets to see Adam Sandler February 10th at Enterprise Center just by listening on the TMA app or at TMASTL.com.
My father literally came to school one time my whole school career. He opened the door in the middle of the test and I hear, "Where'd you put the rake?" I'm like, "What? You put it on the nail?" I think I did. You think?
Tickets on sale now, but you can win them now. Not to be repetitive, but just go to TMASTL.com to find out more and win. That's TMASTL.com. TMASTL.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton, who also happens to be my insurance agent. And I am telling you firsthand that your staff is on top of it right away.
Is there a team in St. Louis that cares more about their clients? And I'll double down that there's not. What we do on a daily basis is coach and educate our customers on available discounts and the appropriate coverage to match their needs.
I can tell you firsthand the best, and I'm so happy I made the switch. And when you switch, they do all the paperwork for you. It's James Carlton, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.com.
Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Nice.
Oh, is that Rockio on the tuba?
That's Rockio.
This is the first song of this album, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
Rockio can play, though. I'll give him that.
Oh, he is good.
He can lay down a good bass.
Bah.
You like that, Doug? It's pretty good.
I do, yeah. It's much better than rap.
Da da ba da 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 bit dee. It is the Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is a Ween Wednesday and a Constructive Criticism Wednesday. We're taking constructive criticism from our listeners. Retired Air Marshal became the first caller of 2023 by calling into the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. You can do the same. 636-9004 TMA, and you can text into the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. It is our appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour. I got a brand new dishwasher from the Appliance Discounters, the great John and Denise Bradley. Doug, was it installed last
I don't know
Thursday
when it was installed.
Or Friday? It is as quiet as the tiniest little church mouse.
Ours too. You don't even know it's on.
Oh.
You don't know it's on. You have to look down and it says it's washing, it's drying, it's cleaning. That's the only way you know it's
There's
on.
like some red laser light that shoots out to let you know it's on. Otherwise, it is wonderful.
Yeah.
TheApplianceDiscounters.com. If you're in the market for a new home appliance, our 8 o'clock hour sponsor, Appliance Discounters, has what you need. Shop major brands like GE. Appliance Discounters have drastically lower prices on installs, with select dishwashers being free. They also have huge GE cash rebates. It's the Appliance Discounters. Don't forget, sign up to be our TMA Listener of the Month at TMASTL.com. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Milagro Tequila, the sponsor of the TMA Listener of the Month. And the Deus will vote secret ballot. Most of us will honor the secrecy of the ballot and then decide on the Listener of the Month at the end of the month of January.
And then 2 or 3 of us will say who they voted for.
Correct. That's exactly right. The Omerta.
Yeah.
Not as powerful when only a couple people honor it.
It's a semi-secret vote.
We need that coalition.
You can get involved in the program, 314-881-TMA5. That's the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. And, of course, email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. App contests going on, 2 of them. Adam Sandler tickets. You can sign up to win those on the TMA STL app. Download that app and sign up. That show is February 10th at Enterprise Center. And then ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner are coming on August 17th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. You can win tickets for that with the TMA STL app. These contests are legit, man.
Hell yeah, Adam Sandler tickets.
I'd like to see that. And then I see,
too.
do you see Chris Rock and Chappelle are coming on the 21st?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Chappelle and Chris Rock. And then
Probably
you
the
get
2 biggest names in stand-up comedy.
I'm
right
telling
there.
you.
And then 2 weeks later, you get another massive name in Adam Sandler.
Doug, St. Louis is a hotbed of shows.
I didn't know Adam Sandler had a stand-up routine.
It's a lot of music, too. He brings his guitar.
The Chris Farley song.
Yeah, he does. And then in the winter, he does the 8 Crazy Nights, Veronica. It's awesome. Adam Sandler's incredible.
I might go to both those.
Yeah, I'd like to go to at least one of them.
Doug, should we go with listeners' wives?
I guess.
They drive
I'd like to
us.
see 'em first.
And they drive us?
Yeah.
That's right.
Because it's only fair that they drive.
And their husbands wait in the car.
It's such an odd deal, but it's a great deal.
Just for the right to be with us.
That's correct. Huge stars on HD8.
And they tip us.
Oh, what do you do? I'm taking this guy who does a radio show. Oh, what station's he on? Well, he's on 105.7, but it's HD2. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Unless you're about 25 years old or younger, you can't find it on your radio.
Dude, I was at a New Year's Eve party with a lot of our friends. And
Mace Dog, Reefer, and Matty Dreads was in
Nah,
town.
these are not these are not Mace Dog and Matty Dread. None of them. Love them, but no, these are a different group of friends, and a lot of them I didn't really know. They kind of knew Madison, and you could tell when I explained my job, they seemed really interested. And then when you say HD2,
Yeah.
it's like,
confusing.
okay, now this is fake. Obviously, this is a show that
He's making it up, and we're gonna support him on his venture
can
that
just see the
clearly is
face.
not working out.
Yeah, I tried to explain that to a woman well into her 70s the other day. She said, "What station are you on now?" And I said, "Never mind. I just don't think I could explain it to you so you could get it. Nor would you want to hear it if you did.
Yeah, that's another variable.
I could step out into your car and maybe get it for you, but I don't know that I could explain it."
Wouldn't it be funny if we had to set every listener's radio? They had to come here, we had to set in each one and preset it. Okay, there you go, guys.
I didn't even know it was a thing, HD2 or 3. That was a thing until...
The best part about it is it's super crisp. You don't lose the show like 20 miles outside. Like, it's the signal is
it sounds
really
great.
good.
Yeah.
It's crisp.
And I'm sure 5 years or so from now, there'll be all kinds of shows on HD. I think it will be a much more common thing.
Doug, you know what we are?
Pioneers.
Couldn't be a better word for it.
Mm-hmm.
You ever hear a 920 before we came along?
No.
Hell no. Doug, that's what we are. We're pioneers. HD2? Yeah, we'll do it.
Sure.
Fine. Do we do it out of choice? No.
No one else will have us.
Thank you.
Another frontier conquered.
Yep.
We're like settlers in the Old West. The Donner Party that winds up eating each other.
Ooh, you guys can eat me.
Yes.
SGO Kai's new angel has an OnlyFans account where you can submit a picture of your meal and she'll respond and let you know if she'd let you digest and deposit that meal on her boyfriend's chest.
Oh,
Cindy
that's not
Dotem.
true.
It can't be true.
He does have a new girlfriend, though. But I don't believe she has an OnlyFans.
Guys, just tell the people you're on YouTube, like Pat McAfee. Thanks. That's from Conclusion, the stripper. Yeah.
That's almost easier.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do.
People have found us, and I'll let everybody else figure out their other stuff.
I tell people,
Sponsors that found us. That's all that really matters, I guess.
I tell people YouTube, and then I just say download the app. You can still listen to us in all the other streaming outlets that you could before.
How does Bootface get away with literally never coming back on time? That's from Sweet Sweet Kai. Is that your buddy, Jackson? But this Jackson goes away, too.
Where are you? You're in, you're out.
What? How come every time I answer the phone, that's when someone talks to me? What was the question?
I forget.
Is your buddy Sweet Sweet Kai the one who texts in?
Yeah, that's him right there.
Wow. He said, how does Bootface get away with literally never coming back on time? He went after Ricky.
Kai.
Well, I don't need to explain it every time to you people. Our breaks are 2.5 minutes long. It takes me 2 minutes to get downstairs.
How long are our breaks, Plowhawk?
5 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Well, today was different.
They're always.
I was talking.
I can't.
Dropped a penny or something.
Boy, Pepper and Genie, now that it's broken up, Doug.
I can't say 2.5 minutes because it is 4:45. I guess went the exact one.
All right, well, 2 minutes to get down there. About another minute to get up. And then I had.
It takes 2 minutes to walk one flight of stairs.
And then Jody came the same time I was coming up, so I had to go down to the lower level before I got up to 2, so I had to take a detour. Then I talked to Jody, then I ran into Gregor, I ran into Courtney. You know, you run into people, you just have to talk. I don't just say, gotta go. I sit and talk.
Gregor, I like that.
Well, they'd understand
It's like a fourth line forward.
I think they'd understand if you're like, hey, I gotta go back. I'm live on air.
No, they understand that I don't never
Care.
back on time. So.
That you don't care, was it?
I almost said that, but I decided just to go the other route and say that they know that I dilly-dally.
Some would say, well, you just don't have time to go smoke.
No, and Jody and I were talking guitars.
But some would say, well, you just don't have time to go smoke.
Some would say that. I'm not one of them.
There you go, Doug. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. I keep telling people that I want to do a Facebook or an Instagram Live.
Yeah, sure.
A tour of the building.
A year in the making.
But when I first said that, we started construction, and then all the guitars came off the wall. I don't want to do the Instagram Live and a tour of the building without all the guitars up, because there's some fascinating guitars that they have signed. So I think Sarah has got most of them up. But every time I go back on the sales hours, there's like 25 back there. So I'm not sure they're all up. And then I have to talk to people that will be on the air
Well, sure
when I do this. Yeah. I think Donnie Fandango will be on the air. Liv will be on the air. Lerner will be on the air. Just if I happen to pop in your studio while I'm doing an Instagram Live and you're not on the air, do you mind if I come in and say hi?
No, you'll disrupt their show.
I said if they're not on the air. Do you listen?
Doug, do you listen?
So there's a lot of
Sometimes no.
There's a lot to go. There's a lot that goes into this Instagram Live tour. So it'll happen. That's what I was talking to Jody about.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, needs this quote-unquote so-called tour. It's just an excuse to see Learn. Thanks. That's what he'll
Well,
say.
there could be some truth to that.
Well, I could come in anytime I want after 2 o'clock and see Learn. How often have I done that? Never. Well, I've seen her, but I haven't come in for that. The last time I saw her, I came in to do a favor for a listener.
Oh, what was that?
They asked me for concert tickets to a certain concert. I said, I'll see what I can do. And I got the tickets. I had to come. They were paper tickets, which you don't see much of these days.
A lot of those, no.
And I had to come in and pick them up. And it happened to be after 2 o'clock. And I just stopped in and said hi.
What'd she
And
say?
Iggy, stop for 1 second. Stop talking about Learn, dude. Just give it a rest.
Well, I didn't bring it up, dumbass.
What'd she say when you said hi to her? What'd she say?
She put me on the air that day.
And what'd you talk about?
There was some poll that she read about people hate their jobs and hate going into work. And she said, you'd be perfect for this because you love coming into work. So we talked about that.
Would you rather have a day where you have to go to work or you're off that day?
I got kind of bored on a week, 11 days off. I was kind of glad to come back into work.
Yeah.
Doug, how long were you in Tampa Town?
Saturday to Saturday.
Nice.
8
How's the weather? It was cold there, wasn't it? I mean,
The
relative
first couple
to
of days, it was like upper 40s, low 50s, but then it got to be low 70s.
Yeah. You see Patty Maroon and Blaine Gabbert?
Yes. So,
Did you really?
Well, at Gabbert, it's a funny story, kind of. We were out one night, went to an ice cream store in this kind of a ritzy shopping district, and we walk out and we see this gorgeous Mercedes-Benz SUV, and we go, wow, look at that car. And then my son Greg says, you know who that is getting into it? That's Blaine Gabbert. He's the backup quarterback for the Broncos. And then the next day, Gabbert is all over the news for saving the lives of people who were in a helicopter crash in the Bay.
Right.
Not 2 miles from where we were at the time.
Right.
He and his brothers were out jet skiing near his home, I guess, on Davis Island there in Tampa. And a touring helicopter crashed into the water, and the Gabbert boys drive up and pull these guys out of the water.
How about that? Yeah, I saw Gabbert talking about that. That's unbelievable. So you saw him the night before that happened?
Yeah, just getting in a car.
Did he recognize you?
No.
Say, hey,
I'm not
dog.
sure he saw me at all.
Did you ask him for a drink take?
No, I didn't see. Listen, I was at a distance. My son walked back to see who was getting in the car. He said, "Oh yeah, that's Gabbert." I didn't see but the top of his head.
Oh, yeah, Drinkowitz with the coach. Blaine Gabbert would be the Jayhawk.
Does he fly home after games? Just go spend time in Tampa before he goes to his game?
He lives in Tampa. He plays for the Bucks.
Well, I'm saying. Oh, I thought you said your son
Yeah,
said he
he
played
said
for the
the Broncos.
Broncos.
I think he meant the Buccaneers. Yeah, he
meant the
backs up
Buccaneers.
Brady.
I haven't paid attention to who the backup for Tampa is.
It's him. Yeah. My mistake there.
Greatest gigs on the planet.
You are held accountable.
Yeah.
3 Mizzou quarterbacks backing up NFLers.
I only pay attention to San Diego because Chase Daniel went 3 for 3.
Doug San Diego, the former franchise.
I still call him San Diego.
All right. Doug still calls the Buccaneers the Broncos.
I do.
You just have to adjust that we have like a legend on the side of the YouTube to follow along.
We're both old and teetering on the brink of insanity.
That Davis Island's a pony.
Oh, it is, yeah.
My God. So Patty Maroon lives, like, for real, right next door to Gabbert. And then I believe Brady was in the same area.
Yeah, I saw his
house went on sale for $12 million, and we were talking about getting that, but I don't know if we're going to do it or not.
It wasn't big enough.
Right.
That was my complaint was, I mean, for $12 million, I wanted a little bit more lab.
I think I just saw that Forbes maybe said that Tampa's, again, like the best place to live in America.
Is that right?
They got voted. Maybe Forbes or something like that, Wall Street Journal.
Oh, it's expensive, but it's beautiful.
It's cool. I like
It's
Tampa.
absolutely beautiful.
Well, Greg Goen likes it, right?
Places, yeah, he loves it. The places right there in the water are expensive everywhere.
Right.
But you can get inland a little bit, and it's rather reasonable. The crazy thing about some of these rich houses, like Brady's, $12 million, that's like a third of his year's salary. A normal person, can work their tail off and make, maybe you're lucky enough to make $100,000. You're going to be paying 30 years to buy a house that's 4 or 5 times as much as your yearly salary. And here the people at the other end of the spectrum just peel off the money right out of their bank account.
In
like
6
it's
games,
nothing.
Brady has already paid off his house.
Pay off a $12 million house with a 30-year salary.
Before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It must be nice.
I always wondered, and I almost asked somebody this question. I forgot which player I was going to ask it to in the locker room, but somebody was making $25,000 or $25 million a year.
I need to hear.
And I know it's all direct deposit. But I was going to ask, what's it like every 2 weeks you open your locker and there's a check for $1.8 million or whatever? I always wanted to ask that question.
I was in the Rams locker room once. Remember Greg Hill, the running back? This would have been, I guess, whenever he played, late 90s, early 2000s with the Rams. And he actually opened up his paycheck. I didn't see it, but I was next to him. He opened up and said, the first thing he says, "Whoa, I loves the NFL." That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, that's got like somebody like Arenado or, some of these guys, they open it, nice little payday. And for 2 weeks, $1.3 million.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow talked about that right after he got drafted. Because he got drafted in COVID, so he was in his parents' basement, and that $14 million signing bonus went direct deposit. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not living in my parents' basement after this one anymore."
No. And to think it keeps coming every year for as long as you can stay healthy.
It's a cute little 3-bed, 1-bath here in Tampa.
How much?
$300.
Yeah, there's parts of it.
Right, kind of by like a bay, I guess it would be. That's
if you get out in the suburbs, it's fairly comparable to what it is here.
Yeah.
Not along the water, of course, but St. Petersburg's gotten kind of pricey. That's really a gorgeous area now, St. Petersburg.
The
Downtown St.
Gasparilla
Pete-
Parade is so cool. I love it. I went to that once when I was living down there. Really cool. You can just drink all over the street, dressed like a pirate.
Oh, I think I found my Tampa home. It has a pink bathroom.
All right, that's what you're doing.
Beautiful.
Mr. Lick's sending in an urgent text message. This is breaking news, kind of like RG3 when he was on the call of a bowl game and his wife went into labor. He says, "Hey guys, I'm at the hospital. My wife's about to go into labor, and she told me I have to turn the show off. The nerve. Anyways, wish me luck, and if I get my wish, he'll grow up to be just like Tim." That's from Mr.
Oh,
Licks.
for
And then Mr. Licks, I guess, before signing off, has sent in a screenshot of a Learn Instagram post in which it says, "'Tis the season for sweetmeat heads on trees and flying V's." And then Iggy posted under it, "Love the tree and love the wall." That's from
What
Mr.
does all
Licks.
that mean? Sweetmeat is the Casey mascot, right? The pig?
Yes. Again, she has an ornament. And she has a lot of nice pictures, rock pictures, and
You're frustrated that we're even asking these questions.
well, I just don't know why he would post that. I mean, haven't you ever responded to somebody's Instagram or Facebook or whatever?
Sure, everyone has.
I mean, don't people like that?
Yeah, you
There's
have every
sometimes I'll go through a post, and if nobody's liked it, I'll like it just so they don't feel bad that nobody's liked their post.
Doug posted a picture of me on the fan page out of nowhere.
I did. Someone sent that to my son and said, "Hey, is this Jackson?" And my son Greg said, "Is that Jackson?" I said, "My God, that's Jackson. We got to share that."
It's the night after the night we beat Chaminade, and I was 15 in the picture, and I look like a scrub.
Pretty good picture, though.
It was a great night. Still a great night.
Did you have that picture? You probably had it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was basketball high point, even though I didn't get 1 second of playing time.
Oh.
I was a sophomore.
It was politics. That
politics. You're right. It was politics.
I just got called up to varsity like 3 weeks before because I was a sophomore. But we beat Jason Tam and Chaminade that night.
Well, how many points were you scoring on that sophomore team to get called up to the varsity, to the big show?
12, 13 points a game.
Look at you.
Yeah. Grinded it.
But a real system player, learn the offense quickly.
3-point threat, or were you playing above the rim?
Mid-range. 15-foot was that's where I'd set up my office.
Yeah.
Me and DeMar DeRozan.
So, yeah, I commented on her.
Let's get back to Jackson. Let's get back to you.
Well, it started with me. Jackson hijacked.
That's actually true. It was so surprising. Doug never posted on the fan page, and all of a sudden I see me on there.
Well, I had to share that.
Did you assume that we get like a moderator alert that Doug had posted it, and
it was like
we
Doug's
assumed
first
somebody
posted-
hacked in?
It felt like it belonged there.
It did. I mean, it was a good post. I just had a brutal haircut, and I really wasted some good hair years with a bad haircut.
Yeah, somebody thought they hacked your account, Doug, because you never post on the fan page.
Well, I don't usually until I see something that looks like it belongs there, and that
Right.
did.
It did. It certainly did.
So regardless of how stupid your text was, congrats to you and your wife, and I hope everything's fine.
But what was the hanging something on the wall in a tree? What was all that?
My God, she posted a picture of her Christmas tree with all the rock ornaments and Casey sweetmeat ornament, and on her wall she had a lot of nice art.
This is in the
rock
studio
stuff
or
in
at
her
home?
house, and I just commented on it. My God.
Okay, don't get feisty.
Doug, Iggy's not the only one getting feisty in the broadcast industry. Chris Sims was not happy about SportsCenter's Instagram making fun of his Jalen Hurts opinions.
Surprising. And, again, Jalen Hurts makes them better. I know that. And, you SportsCenter Instagram for, putting it out again for, the third time in 3 weeks. Off.
Hey.
Really, off
Come
ESPN
on.
SportsCenter. Seriously. They didn't put it out that in my quote last week after the Cowboys game, but they're going to wait to the game yesterday. That's why I hate social media and you ESPN SportsCenter one more time.
Come on.
Way out.
You wait till it's relevant. You can slam someone. You just.
Let's
the right opportunity.
Do they not make content in there anymore? I mean, damn, stop jocking me, ESPN.
Well,
Holy
in
Hey,
the
come
whole
on, what's
context,
your
I feel like people think
Give me
when
a piece of your check.
Like this was in the MVP debate context, like who is most
Invite
valuable
me
to
on
the team.
SportsCenter and let's have a conversation if you want to really get into this SportsCenter.
Wow.
Invite me on, ESPN, you scared little babies.
Oh,
there you go.
Wow.
They're scared. They don't want any piece of me.
And babies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a low blow.
Do you think?
Nice edit at the end.
Thanks.
God bless it.
It needed to end.
Thank you.
We get it.
What was going on there? He has a program, I gather?
Yeah, so here's the context.
Doug, former
He has a
former
show.
quarterback, probably better known for being Phil Simms' son, but he played at Texas correct?
Yeah.
That sounds right. Here's the brief context. Sims said that in the MVP race, it should be like guys like Allen, Mahomes, or Burrow ahead of Hurts because you could plug in Gardner Minshew and the Eagles would still be good. So that was the context of it. And then ESPN posted after Gardner Minshew and the Eagles lost to the Saints, Chris Sims, like, quote, with then a picture of Jalen Hurts.
But they beat Dallas in his point the week prior. Correct?
No, didn't Dallas beat Philly in Christmas Eve?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, his take is terrible. Right?
Well, the Eagles are no good now?
What is he defending?
I don't know.
That's a trash take, and I know.
Are the Eagles winless since
And I know.
Since
They've gone 0-2 since
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew's been the quarterback.
Okay, then I thought, okay, yeah, this dude's an idiot.
Oh.
He should get grilled and
Got to
killed.
change your
I was
take
confused.
sometime.
I thought they beat, yeah.
Live edit.
That's a live take change, Doug. Sometimes you have to do it in this industry.
Well, you would think that the Eagles could still be okay with Gardner Minshew at quarterback.
Are they really going after Chris Sims, though? All due respect to Chris Sims, he's kind of on the periphery, and he's not an ESPN employee.
I know, it was odd.
So what is this about?
It's like a stray. SportsCenter Instagram. I don't know what that's all I.
So this is a real thing? SportsCenter Instagram's going after Chris Sims?
Hold on,
I mean,
I'm
that
trying to-
NBC Sunday Night Football is the highest rated show, I believe. Am I correct? I don't know if you still look at television ratings, but I thought it was the highest rated show. And their cast of people on the show is so strange, minus Mike Tirico and Collinsworth and Maria Taylor, who I do think is incredibly talented and a star. But then it's with Jason Garrett, Chris Sims, Jack Collinsworth.
Oh,
Is it Dungy on there, too?
That's right, Dungy's on there.
They all laugh hysterically, like everything that was said. It's just they're having such a good time up there.
That's
on
the
that set.
CBS show, which goes, oh, I guess we got to copy what Fox did, and so they cut away. And coming up at CBS at the half, and James Brown and Bill Cowher and Nate Burleson and Phil Sims and Boomer Esiason are like they're like a deaf comedy jam. You would think that.
Oh, giggling and throwing the football back and forth.
That is it. That is actually what they're doing.
I'm trying to find the post of them going at. I saw there was like some video where the post was included, but I didn't see. Maybe they took it down after he.
I remember when Chris Sims' dad, Phil, who I believe played at Western Kentucky.
Oh, is that right? He played
Something
Hilltoppers?
like that. It wasn't a big school, and he was a first-round pick of the Giants, and they were furious that they picked this guy in the first round. Then I think he led them to 2 Super Bowls.
Oh yeah. There was a Hostetler in for one of them.
I don't remember, but I remember Sims had a heck of a career.
Oh yeah. Doug, was he more of a game manager than say Joe Montana at the same era?
Yeah. He was never like the best quarterback in the league, but he was
Got himself some championships.
top third or so. Yeah, he was a good player.
Would Dan Marino trade careers with Phil Sims?
Probably not.
314-881 TMA.
No. I don't think if you're going to be
Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks in the 1980s.
All right.
Montana, Marino, Elway.
Yeah, Fouts, Dan Fouts, maybe.
I feel like we're missing somebody.
Jim Kelly.
I think of Kelly more in the 90s. He was USFL initially. Doug, would you put Neil Lomax in there?
No, not with those other guys. I wouldn't. No.
If I remember correctly,
He was happy to move out of St. Louis. He made no secret of it.
Wasn't Phil Sims upset that he was taken out of the as a color analyst and put in the studio at first?
For Romo. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Now it looks like he enjoys it, but
I don't know. If you were at that level, would you rather be the guy at the stadiums doing the games or the guy back in New York or L.A. doing the pre and post game?
Oh, pre and post would be terrible.
Think so?
I think so.
I think at a point you have so much money you don't care and you just want to travel. But I'm sure it was certainly a reduction in salary.
I think going to the games would be more fun.
Yeah, and pre
It
and
just
post.
depends on how you like on the travel, like baseball travel.
Oh yeah,
Forget
that's
about
tough.
it. If you're the everyday guy.
Yeah, but if it's once a week, if you're
Right.
traveling
It's a different
Friday
deal.
and you're going back home Monday morning, you could do that.
Pre and post, what if the game's in double overtime? At least when you call the game, you're done. Those people in the booth now have to take over after a 5-hour game. Or
There's just
whatever.
something to be said about the energy of a big packed stadium in a game and the excitement of being part of it. I think that would do it for me.
Imagine sitting in a studio waiting for a game. Like, at least when you're calling the game, it feels like it goes a lot quicker. But if
Oh,
you're in the
Tim's-
studio waiting for that game to end, that would take forever.
Tim's right. I mean, with
Oh, wait.
money because Well, a perfect example is why isn't Cowher back taking a job? He turns down these jobs because he just sits in the studio. I mean, he could go get a job making $15 million a year with an NFL team. He's just not interested. He probably has enough money, doesn't care.
No, and he did that for a long time, had a lot of success. Probably doesn't want to work 80 hours a week anymore. Probably makes a few million a year doing what he's doing now. And
Get your ass lit up by clowns questioning your decisions on HD2.
yeah, anxiety
Never played the
free.
game.
Never work until 3 in the morning. Never dealing with agents or unhappy players. Or
You could be Chris Sims.
I mean, it's a great job, don't get me wrong, but after you've done it for a long time and had a lot of success and made a fortune, I'm sure there's a time that you say, okay, that's enough. There's not too many of them that keep coaching right up until they drop.
Yeah. Saban and Belichick are rare.
Yeah.
I bet McVay's done after this year.
I don't know about this year, but I agree. If you give me a 4 or 5 year bet, I'll take the under.
Doesn't have any draft pick. That team's not going to get any better. It's like going to be the same season next year. If I'm him, I'm like, screw it.
Yeah, he'll go into the booth.
Work with Al Michaels on
quickly.
Amazon.
Make $18 million a year for the rest of his life.
That's just crazy.
And he
that
knows
the
it.
analyst makes more than the play-by-play guy, to me, is crazy.
Really?
And a lot of the
Yes.
players. Imagine, I mean, there's not many guys making 15. I mean, Romo makes what, 18 million a year?
I know. Jim Nance was upset that he didn't make anything close to that, at least until they renegotiated his contract, I think. But I think Nance is more important to the broadcast than Romo.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice, brother.
Plowhawks
Romo
anti-Romo.
ain't it, man. Romo ain't it. RG3's fantastic. Mar Sanchez is doing wonderful work. I mean, Romo's just getting passed by a lot of dudes who just are more talented.
Yeah, RG3 is very good.
He's
I enjoy him.
amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I
love
agree with you
that.
on Mark Sanchez.
Mm-hmm. Both of them are
Greg
very
Olson
sneaky.
being the number one.
I don't get
Yeah,
that at
I don't
all.
really get it either with
He is
Olsen.
milk toast. No drama, but I mean, just super boring.
Did I tell you this the other day that I was watching one of the playoff games? I guess it was a latter one, the Georgia game, where I was mistakenly on ESPN2 instead of ESPN, and I got the announcers on the field. I got Pat McAfee. Did I tell you that before?
I don't think so.
It was Pat McAfee and a bunch of other guys.
AJ Hawk.
Yeah, AJ Hawk was on there, and I didn't really know the others, and they're the announcers, just standing on the field reacting to things. I think they're copying the Manning model.
Yeah.
Megacast.
And it was just horrendous.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was so painful. They were talking over each other, and anytime anything happened, they go, "Whoa, wow, never seen anything like that before." It's like the exit bell. That's a slobber knocker. And it was just horrendous. And I thought, really, this is what they're doing on the biggest game of the year? And then I realized, oh, wait, I mean, on ESPN2. And I went to ESPN1 and got the regular announcer. Oh, thank God. It was just painful
There
to
was
listen
nothing worse than, I don't even know what game I was watching. It was on Nickelodeon. Oh, my God.
How'd you wind up on that?
I don't know. I
What game is Nickelodeon?
They do a game, I think, once or twice a year, where they'll have like a player scores a touchdown and they get slimed.
I did see that.
It was. I don't know.
But it was
was
odd for you as a childless gentleman.
It was on another. Well, it was on another. I guess when I go to YouTube, wherever I was on, it had like 3 options, and I just saw. Well, this game I'm watching. I clicked on it. It happened to be Nickelodeon.
And Patrick Starr from SpongeBob is calling the game.
And then there's some girl going, "Woohoo! Nice uniform there," and then a bunch of slob comes down. And
Does anybody
It's meant for
think that's
kids.
funny?
It's meant for kids. It's meant for children.
Well, yeah, but they should
How many
be,
kids are watching a football game?
Yeah, they need,
Clearly enough for them to pay the money for it.
they need to learn to hate Tony Romo, just like everybody else has to on Sunday. Nobody should have to have Patrick the Starfish be able to call games. You should hear Tony Romo and hate it just like all of us.
I don't have the hate for Tony Romo you do.
I don't know how
Patrick
to hate.
Starr?
I just do not understand why people think he is the second coming. He is 3rd or 4th in line compared to, like I said, RG3, Mark Sanchez. Jim Nance is the best.
I don't know if that there's any announcers at the national level or anywhere really that I listen to and just hate. I can't think of anybody out there. Howard Cosell had the love or hate factor going there for many years.
I can't listen
But
to
I don't
Chris
think
Collinsworth.
I don't think there's anybody out there that really elicits hate from me.
Well, hate's a strong word, Doug. I don't hate him. I hate all that he's so popular for no reason. He's a former player. I get it. There's thousands of former players.
Yeah.
He did those like first 2 games and he called a couple plays correctly and everybody like dropped their jaw and were like, "Oh my God." Get $20 million and absolutely annoyed the hell out of Jim Nance. You can just tell Jim is just annoyed as hell with him.
Now, you know who did that before anybody? It was Hank Stram. If you ever listen to Monday Night Football, him and Jack Buck. They're going left, Jack. They're going left.
Yep.
Going right. They're going right, Jack. They're going right. That's all you do, left or right.
That was a good team.
That was. They were very good together.
Guys, once again, the slithering lizard finds a new level of creep. What in the hell's he doing watching Nickelodeon? That's from the 314.
It came up on the TV.
You're not a slithering lizard.
I saw a football game, and that's what I wanted to watch, and I clicked on it and said, what, Nickelodeon doing a game? What is this?
And it really is stupid.
It's terrible.
It's beyond stupid.
I quickly searched, and it was on like 3 different channels, but it happened to be the one I clicked on. Just like every bowl game, there were like 3 different channels. I could watch it on ESPN. I could watch it on the SEC Network. This one happened to be a Nickelodeon was one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was clicking on Nickelodeon. I said, what is this slime coming down? What is it? And it says in the corner, Nickelodeon. I said, what the hell are they doing football?
I just can't imagine that anyone, no matter how old you were, would think that's really funny or entertaining.
I don't know any 5-year-olds that are, Daddy, can you turn on the football game on Nickelodeon? I want to watch Georgia and LSU on Nickelodeon.
Well, if you're 7 years old and you start liking football, Nickelodeon's a good start. That's what they're trying to do, is get younger kids into it.
Yeah, well, there's no 7-year-old watching Nickelodeon for football.
They really have to try to get people to like football in the country.
Well, just trying to
about football?
expand their audience.
There really is no better entertainment on television than a good football game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Get
want
kids
my
in early.
kids to be, playing it. It's golf for me, baby.
Yeah.
Kid can be playing golf.
Some breaking news regarding the Damar Hamlin situation. Coley Harvey of ESPN, who has been outside of the Cincinnati hospital since Monday night, tweeting, per Jordan and Damar's family, doctors, and that's Damar Hamlin's family friend, doctors overnight got promising readings that they had been hoping to see by this morning. Jordan couldn't go into specifics, but progress appears to be made. He said Damar is still sedated and in critical condition in the ICU. Jordan also clarified on behalf of the family that there may have been some miscommunications in terms of the number of times Damar Hamlin was resuscitated. There was only one instance at Paycor Stadium, and he said they'll have much more on ESPN throughout the morning and day. They recorded an interview, but 2 other comments to look for from him. Damar's father is among those calling for any criticisms of Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins, who was part of the play Damar was injured on, to, in capital letters, stop. Also learned later that night, the real Jeff Ruby is catering a meal at the hospital for the family. The gestures the family has received in Cincinnati reminds them of what they've gotten in Buffalo. So that is the latest on Damar Hamlin. I guess I only saw this because he was trending on Twitter that Bart Scott was attacking T. Higgins,
Yeah,
the
like
receiver.
straight up said.
Do we have sound of that by chance? I haven't seen it, but that's why I saw that. So he was like, what did T. Higgins do wrong?
I don't know. Did he stand over him after he'd fallen or something?
Not at all. I guess he was attacking him for the hit.
Well, what's the receiver supposed to do?
Right. He didn't do anything wrong.
No, he caught the ball and
So
tried to
here's
advance.
Damar Hamlin's father saying, stop with the criticism of T. Higgins. And the Hamlin family's been beyond complimentary of the Bengals and the Cincinnati, fans.
I think I have it. Again, this is just me finding it on Twitter.
Dov Kleinman?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
that's
the
it.
one. Okay, I got you.
Intentionally. What exactly did T. Higgins do last night to Hamlin?
Well, right before the tackle, he lowers his helmet and he kind of throws his body into his chest. He's standing up because he's thinking he's got to chase T. Higgins at an angle to make a tackle. So he didn't expect T. Higgins to launch his body back into him. It's one of those things that a lot of times you see it as a linebacker, unblocked, unengaged running back comes through the hole, and he knows that contact's coming, so he lowers his helmet, and you can't get underneath him, so he's able to get into you, and your chest is exposed. So they've taken that out of the game, but they don't really regulate it as much as possible. I expect the league will be a lot more vigilant when it comes to that and using that penalty.
Right. Well, if that's it, that was a nothing.
Yeah.
But I guess people are currently in the mode where everybody's talking about it and they see something on Twitter and then they say something hyperbolic to get attention.
Yeah.
But that didn't seem like it was that big of a deal.
I saw the update.
But perhaps that isn't why he was trending. I don't know.
The update that I saw that and this may have been late last night or early this morning, that they flipped Hamlin on his stomach, I guess. I forgot what the medical term was, and to put pressure on or off of his lungs. I forgot what
Take pressure off so it's easier to breathe.
Yeah, I think that was from his uncle. I think that was early
uncle on
this
CNN
morning.
who also said that they resuscitated him twice, which now isn't true.
Micah Parsons blast Bart Scott over Damar Hamlin blame.
Everybody has, but I did again like
That clip that I just played has 4.8 million views, so I think that's why.
So that is the clip?
I mean, yeah, it's 15.8 million views on that tweet.
Doug, let me listen to it one more time in case. In
Maybe
case
we
I
missed
didn't.
something.
Yeah.
Hit the lever, please, Plowsy.
Sorry, I thought it was a
erased
one-hit wonder. I got you.
Fabulous.
We ready to go.
Exactly did T. Higgins do last night to Hamlin?
Well, right before the tackle, he lowers his helmet and he kind of throws his body into his chest. He's standing up because he's thinking he's got to chase T. Higgins at an angle to make a tackle. So he didn't expect T. Higgins to launch his body back into him. You know, it's one of those things. A lot of times you see it as a linebacker, unblocked, unengaged running back comes through the hole, and he knows that contact's coming, so he lowers his helmet, and you can't get underneath him, so he's able to get into you, and your chest is exposed. So they've taken that out of the game, but they don't really regulate it as much as possible. I expect the league will be a lot more vigilant when it comes to that and using that penalty.
Right.
Doesn't that happen many times during a game where a ball carrier will kind of lower his head? Every time around the goal line, that's what they do, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Running back will lower his head.
But Jackson, because that's been viewed, 15 million times, you're operating on the premise that that's the clip that people are keeping.
Yeah, and just based on the replies.
Okay,
You'd be crazy.
There's another clip.
You'd be crazy to run with the ball with your head straight up in the air if you're about to get hit, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's another clip. It looks like this one said it blames T. Higgins. He's wearing a different suit, so it looks like a different. Do you mind if I play it? I have 40 seconds. Or
You
40.
go ahead, right ahead and play.
It's called red dot. And every Raven and former Raven understand what the red dot means. You can be swagged out. You ain't no tough guys, but you will not get the benefit of the doubt. I guarantee you.
This is over a year ago. He said he wants to hit somebody. Okay, never mind. Sorry about that.
Well, never mind that one.
No, I thought there'd be more because that didn't seem like he was really putting blame on anybody. It just how players react to, getting hit. That's all I heard.
It is such a violent game. These things are always going to happen.
Yeah, it's never
They
going to
are.
change. Yeah, it never will.
Well, this was a little rare, but it has happened before. And people are going to get hurt playing football. You've got massively sized people that are very fast, very tough physically, trying to keep their jobs. They're going to smash into people as hard as they possibly can, and guys will get hurt, sometimes very badly.
I mean, to me, the NFL, you should get your money and get out. Andrew Luck, what he did, Luke Kuechly, what he did. Those are guys in their prime that just retired. They got their payday a couple years prior.
The guy on the 49ers was really good, a linebacker.
Oh, yeah. He retired early at like 25. I know exactly what you're talking about. Again, Hamlin's 24, so these situations happen to rookies, second-year player.
And Barry Sanders was still in his prime when he quit.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal as much anymore. There's not a lot of money in the NFL in comparison to other sports. It's completely different. There's a cap. You still make good money, the top tiers, but the mid-level guys not so much.
But you're talking about 22-year-old guys with a chance to make millions of dollars a year. That's,
yeah, but you're also
that's a lot
talking
of money.
an average of a 2.5, 3-year career.
It's Chris Borland for the Niners.
That's who it was,
Who
yeah.
retired at age 24.
Yeah, and he was a star. He was really good, too.
Guys, to me, it doesn't sound like Bart Scott. To me, it doesn't sound like Bart Scott was blaming T. Higgins, but instead bringing light to hopefully have the referees watch closer for that sort of unnecessary hit. That's from Scott's wrinkled ballsack.
He didn't say once that it was T. Higgins' fault, that he blamed T. Higgins. He said there should have been a penalty or looking that forward. That's not blaming anyone. That's maybe something they look forward to in the future.
Don't you think somebody takes a helmet to the chest on almost every play during a football game? Some lineman, some linebacker gets a helmet somewhere in their body?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know what targeting anymore either is. I told you about the game where 2 players were knocked out, the defense and offensive player, and Okuri helmet to helmet. Like, it was clear as day, helmet to helmet. And they reviewed it. And it was like the crown of the helmet hit the guy, and it wasn't targeting.
Well, it was targeting at the end of Michigan TCU, but they were in a weird spot. By the literal interpretation of the rule, if you're, I don't know how many people were watching that at that moment. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The play?
Yeah, with that crazy play.
But I mean, you were in such an awkward spot. In other words, let me put it this way. If that's a game between Michigan and TCU in September, and that's in the third quarter, I believe they call that targeting.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But they couldn't decide the game on that.
I mean, and it wouldn't have decided it, but it would have given Michigan another play, 15 yards up, plus TCU's, and I think that was a backup who had that hit. But by the literal interpretation of the rule, that was targeting.
And he'd have been out for the first half.
And that's, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And sometimes it's unintentional. Some guy comes in to be a second or third tackler on a play and lowers his head, and then the ball carrier lowers his head at the same time, and it becomes a helmet-to-helmet hit. He may not have meant to do that at all.
Yeah, it's the defensive player is going in with his helmet, but going toward the knee, going toward the, side where he's going to tackle him and hit him with the shoulder, but then the guy on the offense lowers his head, and it's called targeting on the defensive player when it's the offensive player lowered his head.
It is Wednesday, and that means we have Jeremy Rutherford with us coming up here in a matter of moments. Blues with a hell of a win last night. Doug, I don't know what to do here. I mean, is it better for them to not win and get in a better spot to get Connor Bedard and trade O'Reilly? Wow, Iggy.
No.
Iggy answered the question.
No, I
start tanking.
I'm going to tank mode, baby.
That's the thing. I was hanging out with some guys yesterday when we were BSing, and it's kind of like it's a weird spot because you kind of want them to lose, but then I turn in the game and I can't. I'm not pulling for the Leafs. I'm pulling for the Blues. But in a realistic spot, it's unlikely, you would think, at this moment that the Blues are going to have a deep run with what they have. But, Doug, you and I have been talking about we're Callie Rosen guys through and through.
Yeah,
We've seen what he's done with Torrey Krug out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're going to see some players rise to the occasion, replacing Ryan O'Reilly and Vladimir Tarasenko. Last night, who would have thought, and if I'm not mistaken, the Blues have a player named Bruce Nevich. And he said we're going to have to win games, 1-0, 2-1. And look what they do last night against one of the best teams in the league in their building a week after playing, and they win it 6-5 in a shootout. So the Blues start off the 4-game road trip against one of the better teams in the game, and they win. Head off to New Jersey for the second stop tomorrow night. Jeremy Rutherford, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, joins us next. In addition to the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming your way in the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. We close out the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, I know the market is cooling right now. Is it still a good time to buy a house? Rates up? It's a mess out there, isn't it?
Yeah, right? I mean, think about it. Think about where we were a year ago. We saw the headlines, and if you were one of those trying to buy a house a year ago, you know darn well it was tough. A listing would come on the market and 20, 30, 40 offers would come above asking price, and it was a very difficult environment to navigate through. Now look at today. Homes are coming on the market, price decrease. Then an offer comes in and it's well below list, and people are buying these houses a lot less expensive than they would have a year ago. So, yes, mortgage rates are a little bit higher, but the savings you get on the sale price should more than make up for that. And then at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will refinance your loan with no fees when rates do go back down. So you get in there now and you marry the house and just date the rate until we can refinance you at no cost. Learn more today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that's always a great time to gather at Rosalita's. Why not start off with a happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m.? Enjoy happy hour specials including $3 off of appetizers like the wildly popular carne con cerveza, marinated steak cooked to order and served on a sizzling skillet. The patio is heated and covered, plus Rosalita's offers live music on Thursdays and mariachi every weekend. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday. Right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good. So check it out on 101 ESPN. Or get the podcast on the TMA app. Want to see Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top? Get the TMA app or go to TMASTL.com. Sign in, sign up, and win. Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, the Sharp Dressed Simple Man Tour with special guest Uncle Cracker, August 17th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now. Find out how to win at TMASTL.com. Win tickets to see Adam Sandler February 10th at Enterprise Center just by listening on the TMA app or at TMASTL.com.
My father literally came to school one time my whole school career. He opened the door in the middle of the test, and I hear, "Where'd you put the rake?" I'm like, "What? You put it on the nail?" I think I did. You think?
Tickets on sale now, but you can win them now. Not to be repetitive, but just go to TMASTL.com to find out more and win. That's TMASTL.com. TMASTL.com. The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience. KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Man, this Ween Wednesday is probably the sickest one we've done in the history of the show.
It's sick, for sure.
It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan Vaughn. The Plowhawk Action Jackson. Mark Hanna's on YouTube if you're watching. He's sitting right here.
Hello, Enzi.
It's so good to be here.
Isn't it?
Happy New Year, everyone. 1 year?
1 year. And during the commercial break, the members of the Hubbard Radio St. Louis sales staff presented us with Doug this happy, I'm showing it on my camera on YouTube for those of you watching, and I know all the ladies in St. Louis have their Hitachi Magic Wands out.
What?
Happy 1 year TMA. So they just did this on their own. I don't think that it had anything to do with Iggy bringing it up / complaining that there was no recognition for our 1 year.
Well, I think that's exactly why they did it. That's going to have to count as a plaque. Is there a hook in the back of that? We could put that whole cake on the wall somewhere?
Attach the siren to it.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, and I go into the break room, and a couple other members of the sales staff are in there, and they said, "Oh, happy anniversary!" And I immediately go, "God, what?" I go, "No, Anna Marie and I are in November," and I went, "Oh yes, our first anniversary." And I'm like, boy, it speaks volumes for the stability of this show that we last a year at a place and
people are stunned by it. Well, better have a party. Probably won't be a 2-year anniversary.
I didn't see any bankers boxes out there packing you guys up. That's a good sign.
Well, we'll be expected to pack ourselves.
That's what it is.
They're not doing it for us.
Yeah, if you get let go from HD1, they do it, but HD2, you got to back yourself. That's the way that it works. Is the great Jeremy Rutherford with us?
Yeah.
Doug, we're celebrating ourselves a Jim Dandy last night in Toronto. How do you do, Austin Matthews? You didn't get 2 points. The St. Louis Blues did. Jeremy Rutherford with us, presented by Mark Hanna on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. Morning, JR.
Morning. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Mark. Thanks for doing this segment. You're going to keep me for 2023.
Oh, wow. Big moment here.
And beyond.
Oh, my gosh.
Right down to business.
That's awesome because, I'm saving up. I need to get a new truck. I've been looking all over my dashboard, guys. I can't find the HD2 button.
No, drop out of it. Don't let him do this to us. God bless America, Rutherford. We're fighting an uphill battle here, aren't we?
You need to get a car from Munganess Acura.
That's exactly right.
Hear it.
Iggy is back in studio, but I think it's just to get his phone and coffee.
I forgot to order fish yesterday. I got to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
By all means, take care of that now.
Don't let me get in your way.
So if you want to talk with Iggy, JR, you're going to have to do that off air because he is gone. Enjoyed this.
I usually do. I just meet him in the hallway.
That is true. You're in the building oftentimes. Saw your article on The Athletic talking about the conversation you had with Doug Armstrong, some of the veterans, the unique spot that the Blues are in now with O'Reilly and Tarasenko being out, and an opportunity also for some players to get some ice time with those guys out. But it doesn't necessarily likely change what the direction of the organization was going to be, even with them healthy. So let's kind of get, even though I recognize they got a great win last night, one of the best wins of the year, fun game to watch, both those games against the Leafs here over the last week. But bigger picture, your analysis of where things are with the news and then with what Doug Armstrong had to say, really talking with the team for the first time since he addressed them back in the early season during the losing streak.
Yeah, Tim, I think that's what we have to do in this situation is look at the big picture. The big picture is you're without two of your best players, and you're going into each game you're going to be undermanned. But let me tell you this, kind of honesty in media. I was going to write a story last night that talked about what can the Blues focus on, kind of the small storylines, players that you don't really expect things from, but you really want to see if they've got it. Can you bring them back next year? And that was going to be the story that ran today at The Athletic. But that was a huge win last night. And I think that when you're skeptical of the situation, when you're skeptical of the team's chances, when you write columns that say, okay, this is the sign, you got to sell now, O'Reilly, Tarasenko have to go, you can't overlook a performance like that. And, hey, in 10 games, or, are they still going to be playing like the way they did last night against Toronto? Is it sustainable? Can you continue to beat good teams with a lineup like the Blues are going to carry the rest of the way? Maybe not, but I think you give credit where credit is due last night after a win like that.
I see Falk had 28 minutes of ice time last night.
Yeah.
That's a heavy load, but he played well. The whole team played pretty well.
No, I think they did, Doug. And the one thing is that Doug Armstrong referenced a couple days ago when he did speak to the media, he said that he was on his way to Canada to watch the World Junior Championships, and he had some text messages going on with a few of those veteran players. And it sounds like they all said back to him, look, I can play a lot better, and I'm going to. And Braden Shen said that before the team left for Toronto. He said, I need to score goals, and I will. And then you look at that win last night, Shen, a goal and assist in regulation. He gets the shootout winner. You look at Brandon Saad, 2 goals, gets the shorthanded goal. Justin Falk, 28 minutes. Colton Parayko was up about 24 minutes. Nick Leddy, 22, 23 minutes. You look at that win last night, and there were a lot of good things to see, but I think number one on that list is the veterans came to play. And, again, can they keep doing it? That's going to be the big question. You look at situations like this in the past. Doug Armstrong referenced that 2008, 2009 team. That team was banged up down the stretch, went 27, 10, and 7, and made the playoffs. And that's what Doug said. Hey, they turned into a scrappy bunch and played well. But you have to note that team also got swept by Vancouver in the first round of the playoffs. So it's tough to think that even if the Blues continue to play like this, that they could be a contender in the playoffs if they don't have everybody. But I think it's a situation where night to night you're going to see probably that type of effort because they're playing a more direct game.
Jeremy Rutherford with us here on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines on our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. He's with us, presented by Mark Hanna every week. And you can text in questions for JR at 314-881-TMA5. Doug, they tend to be two-part questions, too.
Well, I don't like the two-part.
I've noticed that
I do.
Over the years. But Mark likes it, and he's the sponsor, so Mark gets what he wants. For the column that you were going to write, but as you mentioned, it was a hell of a win, so you put that one in the holster for now. Who are some of the players, if we were to just play it out, that you think the Blues and fans are going to want to keep an eye on here over the next 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah, for sure, a couple players, but also a few storylines, too. And I don't know if this article will be out tomorrow, but you look at some of the players. Robert Thomas, he's been a guy who's been groomed to be that 1A center, taking the spot of Ryan O'Reilly, and he's kind of done that with some of his assignments the past year or so. But I think that if there is no Ryan O'Reilly next season, or even at the end of this year, is Robert Thomas going to be able to ascend into that role? And obviously, they're paying him like that starting next year, but can he be that leader type, the guy who's on the ice, off the ice, helping teammates, taking them under their wing? He's a guy. If Ryan O'Reilly does leave, who's the captain? Is it Braden Shen? I think you look at last night's game and look at his history here in St. Louis, I think he can be a captain type. And then to get into some of those players, Jake Neighbors. Doug Armstrong said a couple nights ago that maybe expectations were a little bit too high, but he just got back from Springfield, 7 goals in his last 9 games down in Springfield, really looked to get comfortable and made a great play last night on that Josh Levo goal. You guys probably saw, the forecheck, and then Levo takes the puck and puts it in for that 3-1 lead. So Jake Neighbors looking pretty good so far since he's been back. And then you talk about him, Callie Rosen. Here's a guy, 28 years old, and there's a reason why you're a journeyman. Look, if he was good earlier in his career, team would have kept him, right? But he moves on. But now he's showing it. He's proven that he can play. So my question is, can he be a guy who's in your top 6 moving forward? Can he show it for months and months as opposed to just a few weeks? So I think those are kind of the names, some of the players, some of the storylines that you look at.
If I was a pro athlete, I wouldn't like to be called a journeyman. It sounds like you've got a rucksack on your back and you're just walking from town to town.
But, Doug, this show is synonymous with being journeyman.
Yeah, we are ourselves journeymen. That's why maybe it hits too close to home.
Feels familiar?
Yeah. Such as a...
Yeah. And you made it 1 year. The show made it 1 more year.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
We have a wonderful cookie cake right here to prove it. Yep. Take that.
Well, Jeremy, does that win last night give you hope that maybe they can still be a playoff team, get it together in the second half, and not break it up just yet?
Here's the way I look at it, Doug. If I write that they should just break it up, that means they're going to go on a 2-month-long heater. That's how it works. That's how it works. So, no, you always wonder. You do. And I remember covering that 2019. It was crazy. Chris Mason in net. You had, Keith Kachuk was kind of the leader of that group. And it was just, it was insane the way they played down the stretch. So it is possible. But I just think for all the reasons we've been talking and writing for the past few weeks, this is an organization that probably needs the reset. And shoot, if you can put yourself in that conversation for Connor Bedard, you'd hate to see that many losses pile up down the stretch, but that would be something that would really pump some extra, life into the organization with a quality young player like that. I mean, that's something that all organizations need. You look at the teams that have won it the past couple of years, Colorado, Tampa Bay, all those organizations got young players like that, and it's been able to carry them, and the Blues really haven't had that. So I think personally that this is the time for the reset, and I do think that even if they play well down the stretch and make the playoffs, it's something that probably won't last long. So to me, this other way seems more worthwhile.
The lineup seems like it's going to be very hard for them to go deep, but they're going to have to be tested sooner or later anyway. So if they make the playoffs, it gives them some experience. If they don't make the playoffs, they're going to be in the lottery. So either way, nobody wants to see this, but it's an opportunity for these players, the younger players, for these down-the-lineup veterans to be tested, and that sounds like what your thought is as well.
Yeah, for sure. And you look at some of these guys, though, like a Pitlick or a Levo, are they long for St. Louis? So they're going to get some playing time, and they're going to, if they become part of this scrappy bunch that kind of puts things together a little bit and wins some games, then great. But I just don't see a lot of the players on this team who, have a long future in St. Louis when you look at some of these bottom six guys who are now going to be in the lineup trying to help this team win. So, the names that we mentioned, the Jake Neighbors, and Logan Brown when he comes back, Kylie Rosen, who, again, is a little bit older, but can he help you? Those are the guys that I think you pay attention to. But, long shot to get Connor Bedard, I get it. But I think that what not going for it this season can do for you is a lot better off. I think that when we look back in 5 years to this season, are we going to remember that they lost in 5 games, to Colorado? I don't think so. But I think that if you can come away with this with a good player and some good things as some of these good young guys, then I think that's where you're going to take some strides as an organization.
Maybe Army can be as entertaining as Ron Caron used to be here at the deadline.
There is some meat on the burner.
Yeah, and that's going to be the tough part, guys. As you know, that these guys are going to come back just before the deadline. If you're lucky, you're talking 4 weeks for Tarasenko before the deadline, and 2 for O'Reilly. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see what these teams that are playoff contenders think about 2 guys coming back from injury and whether they're ready and able to pony up for what the cost could be if you're Doug Armstrong.
I've got some questions coming into the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. EDF, sponsor of the text inbox here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Email fire@edf-rg.com. It is Engineer Design Facilities, the sponsor of the text inbox. JR, 2 questions. Number 1, I'm worried about the boys on this short road trip. A lot of grown adults find such a short trip that's part of their paid job to be a hassle and tend to whine like little bitches. Anything they can do to extend these trips moving forward. And number 2, if you were stuck on a deserted island with Doug, how long would you wait before you made your move? That's from Arbor Day.
Oh.
Well, first of all, I know that I'd have my passport ahead of time. I wouldn't be worried
Makes sense.
to go on that extended. And hey, listen, long trips are difficult. Believe me, earlier this year, Blues had about a 7 or 8 day trip, 4 or 5 games or so. And I found myself on the last day of that trip in Denver with not a pair of clean underwear. So what did I do?
Turn them inside out?
I turned them inside. I did not turn them inside out, Doug. I went to the local Target, down the street. And so big guy like me, you guys see me. So I'm looking at these underwear. And we're talking, we got the 2X, we got the XXX. What should I get here? I get the size that's too small, but I don't find that out until I'm back at the hotel and I'm wearing them. And I'm like, you know what? These are a little snug here. I should probably take these back. So
now you got a thong working.
Oh, Bill.
We packaged them up and put them back in the wrapper and walked them back down to the Target and turned them back in with the receipt. So if you have purchased any
I thought
new
you couldn't
underwear,
return underwear.
and that's why your mom tells you to wash them when you buy them, right?
You're selling used panties, bro.
They're even more valuable now.
That's an OnlyFans move.
So if you have purchased, if anybody listening out there, you're listening to the YouTube, or you can get HD2 on your dashboard here. If you've purchased underwear in Denver in the last year, they might be the ones that I had.
So hot.
Slap a TMA logo on those.
Yeah. God, that's so hot. JR, this is from Carlos Spicy Wiener. He's probably going to go into our Hall of Fame. Number 1, JR, with the captain and Tarasenko out, does Army try to fill that void with Marty Reisner and Tyson Nash? Doug, I mean,
they don't even play anymore.
I think Tyson Nash is on the Coyotes broadcast team, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think so, only because Tyson Nash is broadcasting now, and I don't know that he would give that up to come back and help this team out right now. And I think that, his hair uses a lot of gel, good-looking guy, probably doesn't want to take any more hits and kind of damage that look that he's got going on. So I think Tyson Nash probably not an option at the deadline.
Pretty good agitator, though.
He was a pass, wasn't he?
Like this.
Oh, sure.
I think it was.
But Marty Reisner is in play?
Could be. Yeah, could be. I think Marty, had to go through the whole Mike Keenan mess. He probably wants another crack at this thing.
And number 2, do you think it's wise for 2 producers who make a 10-minute daily podcast, one of whom just abandoned his primary income job to order some payola fish, to just up and quit doing their podcast despite pledged dollars raised by a 4th producer coming in and the station still running a promotion for it? Thanks. That's from Carlos Spicy.
What was the name of that podcast again?
That was Pepper and Jeannie.
Pepper and Genie, yeah. And so I heard you guys a couple weeks. Is that over? I know it sounded like it was going to be over.
If there's a God, it's over.
under construction, JR. New management.
If there's a God, it's over. That could be a T-shirt. Pepper and Genie. If there's a God, it's over.
Yeah, they've decided to call it quits. Lower the curtain.
Even though a gentleman who does not work here at Hubbard Radio is not only selling advertising for it, but is willing to produce it. So it's a unique dynamic we've got going on here.
Fits perfectly.
It does.
Sorry, Plow, about not knowing if it was still going. I didn't have it saved on my favorite.
Oh, no, I actually think it was my idea.
Sorry,
so, I apologize to me, JR.
Plow. Plowboy's been called Hawk and Plow here within the last month, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Morning, JR. Have you got any reports of the starting line being a bit rattled, knowing there's an HD7 radio producer back in St. Louis offering to take their wives to the ground round on a date while they're on road trips? Thanks. That's from the Coalition of Married Listeners' Husbands looking to third wheel Iggy's date with our wives.
Let me tell you about that ground round. Don't diss that. I used to work at Red Lobster, and we couldn't drink at the Red Lobster there on Lindbergh, so we had to go next door.
To the ground round.
Yeah, good stuff there. So, if I don't think, though, I have spoken to a lot of blues wives over the years, and ground round, I don't think they're too familiar with the place. Tony's maybe, ground round, no.
So not worried about Iggy taking them out on dates.
They're very doubtful, yeah.
I do like Red Lobster, though. At Red Lobster, it's the way we do things, and the way we do things brings people back. Yeah, nice.
There you go. That's how I got. That's how I got so big, guys. I used to make the garlic rolls there.
Oh, you did?
And you just started to pound those things?
Well, that's what you did, because the waitresses were calling, we need rolls, and they're like, well, I'm eating a tray, I'm bringing a tray up. I'm eating a tray, I'm bringing a tray up. Sometimes you used to burn them a little bit just so the manager would say, no, those aren't going out. And I did that on purpose because they're going over here next to my station.
That's not a bad move.
You think Plowboy could put aside a 30-pack of those?
He's tried.
Not in the morning.
Yeah, and not gain a pound.
No.
Guys checking in at $1.30. Final questions from the Horny Banker. Do you think Scott Young has another 40-goal season we could dust off, and Connor Bedard only being 5'9" is concerning? No. Doug, you like that when somebody asks a question by saying no at the end, like we're in Eastern Europe?
I don't care for it.
Bedard only being 5'9" is concerning? No. But, man, is he lighting up these juniors with 21 points in 5 games? Your thoughts on Bedard, and also Scott Young was number 48, and he had a game winner against the Avalanche. Was that game 3 in 2001?
Sniper.
Game 3 in the Western Conference
I think
Finals?
my very first Blues game that I covered for the Post-Dispatch years and years ago was Scott Young the night that he scored his 40th. So I had to go back and talk to Scott and see if he could come back and help this team offensively now with these injuries out.
Nice.
Well, some of these guys we're talking about have to be pushing 50 years old by now, aren't they?
I think each week the guys that we talk about are pushing 50 and 60.
Can you imagine, JR, by the way, because you understand, you've seen the 101 ESPN text inbox, if we did this exact same interview on Balloon Party, how it would play?
That's why I was laughing when I was listening to the intro music and it said, if you like TMA, listen to Little Piddle show later on. I'm like, get out of here. These two shows aren't remotely the same.
That inbox could be an OnlyFans.
Like this show.
The 101 audience would love your story about returning your soiled underwear.
It's funny. I told that story to 2 or 3 friends, and I said, "Don't tell anybody." But I just told it on the
Yes, you did.
HC2.
This is essentially silence, over here. JR, always appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll be all out in Denver this afternoon shopping.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, this should be an embarrassing day. Thanks a lot for getting that one on.
No problem. Jeremy Rutherford, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
All right,
what a wonderful segment. Thank you, JR.
Rutsy.
Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. He's sitting in Ken's chair right now. How does that chair feel, Mark?
Feels pretty comfortable.
Does it?
Doesn't,
wow.
Doesn't smell too much.
No. Would you like to be here every day, give up your other job, and do this full time?
Mark's trying to buy time to politely say no.
I'm gonna politely pass.
You like what you
He's
do.
declining.
I like the company.
Yeah.
The audience leaves something to be desired.
Well, yeah, we've discovered.
Oh, they've broken me down.
Yeah.
Plowhawk started off
All the feelings are
2023 in
gone.
a great mood, and then they started bringing up that Sinbad interview, and he was gone by 7:20.
I actually think that's kind of funny, though. Because it did. I had to look, and it played twice in 2 weeks. And there was a dude that says I played it every day.
What does that say about him? Listening constantly for Sinbad?
All you need to know.
Sinbad interview.
I heard it also, though, so I'm guilty.
314-889-0503 is how you can call this gentleman. And you can go online at evergreenstl.com. It's the great Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, sponsoring Jeremy Rutherford every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Great to see you, sir. Happy New Year to you and yours.
Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see y'all.
The great Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies here in studio. Doug, you'd like to tell us about Marco Bertorelli and Bertorelli Cutlery, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right. From one fabulous sponsor to the next. Now, Bertorelli Cutlery is our longest running sponsor on the show, and they are the gold standard when it comes to having your knives sharpened, and the locally owned and operated family business on the Hill, where you can also get your nitrile gloves, especially if you work in the medical field, you're looking for nitrile gloves. They sell those by the bulk at Bertorelli Cutlery. Great place to go. Fantastic business. Support local. Swing on down to the Hill and see Marco Bertorelli and company. They have an awesome showroom with a variety of kitchen tools and gadgets and mixers, and of course those world-class knives like Wusthof knives. Got a lot of world-class kitchen equipment. It's where chefs shop for their kitchen tools. Great place to get a gift card. Give them one of those gift cards, and you can find all kinds of unique gadgets and professional quality tools and utensils at their store. Of course, they made their name by sharpening knives, and they can do that with like a 12-hour turnaround. They have daily deliveries. If you're a restaurant thinking that, oh, boy, if we have our knives sharpened, it's going to be a week before we get them out. No! They do it in 12 hours, and they have daily deliveries for you. It's just a fantastic place for all kinds of things. They can also sharpen up your chainsaw, axe, knife, lawnmower blades, you name it. Bertorelli Cutlery can sharpen it up. Their location is 1927 Marconi Avenue on the Hill. The website is bertorellico.com. Thank you, Marco Bertorelli. Thank you so much. Longest running sponsor on
2007, 16 years?
That's a long time.
My goodness. Munganast is a wonderful sponsor of both the podcast, of Balloon Party, and of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. It's Munganast St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota online. It's stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. I can't wait to get my new whip.
That's an exciting day when you get a new car.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'll inhale that new car smell.
Just like that, huh? Where do you think the smell comes from? Is it coming from the seats or the...
It's the gerbil they put in there.
They don't put
It's
a
the
gerbil
gerbil.
in there.
That's
No.
correct.
What's really messed up is I was about to say gerbil for some reason.
You and the Plowhawk are on the same page.
It
That
shows
reminds
ruined me.
stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Want to make sure I complete the live read. I was watching the Curb Your Enthusiasm last night, where spoiler alert, where Larry was rumored to be carrying around a gerbil in his ass.
Oh.
And he got up at what's Jeff and Susie's daughter's name?
Sammy.
Sammy's bat mitzvah.
That's right.
They thought they were going to propose a toast to Sammy at the bat mitzvah, but instead he wanted to make an announcement that he does not have a gerbil in his ass.
Is that the same one where he has a piece of hair stuck in his throat?
No, different season. Yeah, my way to go to bed now. I can't listen, most of the times I prefer watching documentaries or something along those lines. But I pop my pills and I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm and I go to a nice place, and that's how I end my day. Might pleasure myself, might not. About 40% right. Okay. But that's the way that I go to bed, and I'd like to recommend it to everybody. I think it's a nice way to go.
When I hear the TV static and then the frolicking music of Curb Your Enthusiasm, I go right into a good place.
That's what I'm saying. You end the day in a happy place. Yeah.
Bum, 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 It's my ringtone.
Is it really?
Yeah, but I never have my phone sound on, so it never ever actually plays.
I'm watching Yellowstone.
What's this now?
I'm watching Yellowstone.
Oh, you need to get that knocked out.
I have... Oh, my God. He talked about what he watched. I talked about what I watched before I go to bed. God forbid I add to the story.
No, go right ahead.
Well, it's not hijacking.
Okay.
I'm just, everybody raved about it, so I started watching.
And are you enjoying it?
I am. There's this.
What do you think about that Kelly O'Reilly?
That Beth, she is just.
That's a whole Beth on the show.
She is just miserable.
Doug, she's a British woman with a wonderful American dialect on the program, which is the case for a lot of these big television shows. Where
it's odd that you
what's
can't find
the gentleman, Damian Lewis, right?
Yeah,
right, and Band of Brothers.
Billions, Band of Brothers, and what was it, Homeland?
Homeland, yeah.
With a thick English accent.
The
And
guy
then he talks as an actor here, and he's got no
a lot of the
accent
guys
at all.
on Succession.
Yeah, oh yeah, ton. Well, I
And
actually,
Lasses.
I think only Tom and Shiv are British. I think the rest are American.
I thought Shiv
I thought
was
Shiv was
Australian.
Australian.
Shiv's Australian, that's right. Matthew McFadden, who plays Tom, is British.
Or is she a Doug, did you say New Zealander?
No, she's Australian.
Kiwi.
She's Australian.
That's what you say? You say Kiwi?
Yeah, they're a Kiwi.
That's what you call? Really?
Yeah.
Did you know that if you're from Pittsburgh, you're called a
Yinzer?
Pittsburgher?
Pittsburgher. Yeah.
I think it's probably the sound you have in the system. But Tom, I'll take a listen. He's talking about the injury and how he's known him since he was 12.
Before I open up for questions, I'll say this about Damar Hamlin. Man, it's a really personal thing for me, being a Pittsburgher, and that young man being a Pittsburgher. I've known that guy probably since he was about 12. Just got a lot of respect and love for him as a human being, his commitment to the pursuit of his goals and dreams of doing what it is he's doing right now, which is playing in the NFL, and to watch him make personal decisions and make that a realization. It's just an honor to get to know young people like that. Had an opportunity to express that to him whenever I see him. We've played Buffalo each of the last 2 seasons, and he and I get to have a moment because it's just cool to not only appreciate these guys in terms of where they are now, but to know them since they were younger people, and to watch their maturation, their development, to watch them, earn what they've been chasing. It's just really a cool thing, and he's an example of that. I got a lot of love for that young man. We lifted him and that organization up in prayer, reached out to Sean McDermott to lend whatever assistance I could. But I don't have a lot to add other than that. I just respect the fact that you guys appreciate how personal it is for me, not only for me, but just for all of us as people that thrive in this space. That's not obviously something that you ever want to see.
There you go, Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Pittsburgher. Do you know that? I'd never known that.
No. I remember we had a sportscaster at Channel 4 named Bob West who once called the people who live in our town St. Louisans.
Which we still now pay tribute to by doing 23 years later.
Yeah, caught all kinds of hell for that. St. Louisans.
That's not what it is?
It's St. Louisans.
Well,
They both sound terrible, so who cares?
Well, yeah, I didn't care, but a lot of people did. A lot of folks cared.
I like St. Louisian. St. Louisan sound Hoosier.
But the name of the city is St. Louis. St. Louisans.
That's Hoosier.
Yeah, this place,
St.
like,
Louisians.
they care
St.
about stuff
Louisians.
that nobody should care about.
Yeah.
St. Louisans. What high school did you go to? Like,
Well, we don't live in St. Louis.
How do you spell Louisiana? Louis, right?
Doug, think about that.
Yeah, it's called Louisiana,
I'd rather
Louisiana.
be a St. Louisian. than
We say it
anything
wrong.
else.
So we're wrong all this
It should
time
be
to say
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis?
St. Louis.
It's not spelled St. Louis. St. Louis would be L-I-U-S, right?
Well, Louis,
L-U-I-S.
Louisiana.
St. Louis.
L-O-U-I-S.
Luis Alicea.
That's how you start Louisiana. L-O-U-I-S. And you don't say Louisiana. You say Louisiana.
Or the trap house.
Well, because it's a different word, so it's pronounced differently.
But the first 5 letters are the same.
But still, some letters are.
Some letters
Some
pronounced
letters aren't
differently
pronounced
depending on-
right.
There are other words that are misspelled, and we just go along with it, like Krzyzewski and Colonel.
DePere, Gravois.
Sugar.
Colonel
How
could
can
be.
you get sugar out of S-U-G-A-R? That's sugar.
Huh. I never thought about it.
I guarantee you, whoever created the spelling Colonel also created email blast. 'Cause those people are the worst. Colonel should not have an L in it.
Colonel.
A sneaky L. I
Yeah.
hate that.
Yeah. Nora, we're right to be upset.
I like the Colonel.
Well, I'm enjoying Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Let's get back to what you're watching.
And I got to thank Plowsy because I had no clue. I'm watching it on Paramount.
Nice.
And it only goes the first 4 seasons. Right now, season 5 is going on.
I got you.
It just ended. Mid-season finale this
Mid-season
past Sunday
finale.
night.
Yep.
But it's not on Paramount. It's only go 4 seasons. That's when I got to. When are they going to post season 5? Plowsy said, "You can go to YouTube and watch it." I go, "YouTube."
Go to the library.
Sure enough, I went to library, and there it is, all the
How
way up to
excited
season
were
5.
you? How
Excited
excited?
because now I'm halfway through
That
season
YouTube
5.
is all I do now
YouTube
is watch
TV is
YouTube,
the
YouTube
best.
TV. Certainly, that's all. Even though I pay for Spectrum just to watch the Blues and Cardinals like a complete moron, but whatever. And TikTok. That's it. That's all I'm watching these days.
Literally, like you started it right when it's like YouTube TV, like in the library. It's right when the show starts live. You can start it in the library and basically be done before everybody because you can fast forward through all
Yeah, I thought the library was you'd had to tape it. And
Yeah,
it
just-
saves. I went to library, and there it is, season 5. And that's season 1 all the way through 5.
Yep.
So I didn't even have to watch Paramount. I only got Paramount for the Casey Anthony thing. I'll get rid of that now.
YouTube TV is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm right there with you.
Oh.
It is good. Kevin Costner, good work in the show.
I guess I'll leave my feelings on season 5 to a podcast because I don't like when people.
Oh, I
put
got,
something.
yeah.
Well, I haven't got through it yet, but if you want, once I get through it, we can.
We can do a Pepper and Genie reboot.
we can-
I'll make a cameo.
Well, season 5's a concert.
Well, I'd be making a cameo because it's on your podcast.
Oh, come on in. The water's
We
warm.
don't have a Pepper and Genie anymore.
You want that to be clear,
Is there
even though there's a
chance?
desire to bring it back.
Could be resurrected.
From who?
It can't be resurrected.
Could be.
Dude, Yellowstone is a truck commercial and a concert, and I love the show to
Uh-oh.
death.
What do you mean by that?
Season
Uh-oh.
5 has really brought me.
What do you
down.
mean by
Oh no! And now what I was trying to reserve for the
Yeah,
podcast.
now I'm getting ready to watch.
Well, you need to watch it. There are some good parts, but when you're
Yeah,
an
but
hour,
I look forward to it now when it sucks.
when you have hour-long episodes, I want more. I don't know. I think the storylines take a long time.
The Casey Anthony thing is on Peacock, not Paramount. You sausage gravy. That's from Bobby Tejas.
Gosh.
I don't know how I got
Put that
Paramount.
on
I didn't pay
Plex.
for it. Is Paramount free?
You
No.
can do a 7-day trial.
I did get Peacock to watch Casey Anthony, but I have Paramount. I didn't order it for anything.
Dude, I'm a free trial machine. I will do 7-day free trials and bang out anything I want to watch on there and immediate cancel it. The best.
Good morning. This is all incorrect. I told Iggy Yellowstone was on Peacock 5 months ago, and then he blocked me. That's from the 618.
Yeah, I doubt I blocked you for that. You did something else after that, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm just getting the stations mixed up. But it's not on Peacock.
Yeah, it's on Paramount for sure. Like Peacock is not Yellowstone.
No.
I assure you that.
No, he's right. Peacock was Casey Anthony was on Peacock.
Oh.
And I ordered Peacock for that, but Peacock has some other nice things on it, so I kept it. But I don't remember ordering Paramount.
It's easy to get them confused when your primary focus is sausage gravy.
The Masters was on Paramount Plus, wasn't that? You could like to watch all the
Yeah,
Masters.
I wouldn't order it for that.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember ordering it. I don't ever see any bills on my credit card for Paramount.
But you watched all of Yellowstone on Paramount?
Yeah.
No, YouTube TV.
No, I watched the
before
first
that
4
he did.
seasons on Paramount, but now Plowsy told me season 5's on YouTube, so I'm watching season 5. I just think they bring these girls in for no reason at all. The guy, Billy. Is it Billy? The cowboy who fell
Doug,
off the
is it
horse?
Billy?
I don't
The guy
know. I
fell
started
off the
scrolling
horse
through
and
my
got
phone.
almost
I
got
got
killed.
something else
noticed
to
that,
do.
which is why,
Oh, the guy that
which is why I
talked,
went to you.
Yes. Timmy, Jimmy.
No, Jimmy.
Is it
yeah.
Billy?
Talking about?
Jimmy.
I love Jimmy.
Jimmy, he looks like he's 90. and he's like
It's an
20
Irish Catholic family in South City.
He's like 24 and he looks like he's 90. And this girl just out of nowhere just, hey cowboy, wanna take me out? And then she shows up and then he leaves and she's still in the bunkhouse partying with these. Get out.
Doug, do you want her out of the bunkhouse?
Dude, the
And
bunkhouse.
then the other girl just shows up, starts dating one of the guys, and she's in there every night. Get out.
The
Bunkhouse.
bunkhouse.
It always sounds like it'd be a good time to be had in
It's
a
just a
bunkhouse.
humid, smelly, like chlamydia factory.
But it's made up of almost nothing but good-looking people right around the age of 30, and then Lloyd.
With perfect teeth.
Who I found out is
They can't-
58. He looks 100.
I still don't get those cowboys never go to the dentist and they have perfect teeth.
Dentistry was very
What
important
the
to cattle rustlers.
hell is wrong? They have no health insurance.
I got to tell you, you guys reviewing shows, that's Pepper and Jeannie's bailiwick. I'm learning a lot about Yellowstone, which I've watched in its entirety that I had no idea about. And
It's
I'm enjoying it.
literally-
It's like the Game of Thrones thing.
It's a country concert. Oh, some acting. Oh, here, bring on the Ram trucks. One after another. It's like a Ram commercial.
But I think
mixed
if
in
they-
with the CMT Music Awards. Mixed in with just a little bit of television.
But if they mixed in,
And I love it.
If they made the actors and actresses have bad teeth, then that would become the focus of the show, don't you think? People would be so, oh my God, look at his teeth. I don't want to watch this.
Currently, the
Well,
focus
one of the
the
reasons why it's popular is because the women are good looking and the men are good looking, and so people sit there and they masturbate to it, right?
Oh,
Am I right, Iggy?
No, Beth got naked a couple times.
Yeah, she did in the first couple episodes, and then she shut it
And
down.
then she shut it down. Now it shows a lot of cleavage, but won't get naked. And none of these girls that are in the bunkhouse are getting naked.
but you don't want to watch shows with people have horrendous teeth.
No. No, they're all attractive.
I like to watch a show that's a show.
You know, even Rip.
Doug, did you know that Teeter is Michael Landon's daughter?
No.
Did you know that?
I've not seen
Remember,
the
it was
show.
your favorite show, Highway to Heaven or Little House on the Prairie?
Bonanza.
Okay, if I only gave you Little House on the Prairie or Highway to Heaven. Victor French.
I didn't watch either.
Who's
one.
Teeter? Which one is she?
He's the one who can't talk.
Oh, that's his daughter?
Yeah.
I'm going to get some cowboys.
Yeah, when she was
That she can't you can't understand a word she says.
It was like freeze.
And she's got pink hair too. What kind of cowboy girl has pink hair?
Doug, Michael Landon's daughter's taking shrapnel on this show.
How old is she? Because he'd have to be 75 or 80.
Oh,
but
he's
long
way
dead.
older than that. Yeah.
I would guess she's probably mid-30s. I'm on the episode where she's shaving her arms in the bunkhouse with the guys.
Well, right when they had the concert at the ranch, I was like, okay, this is not
Well, Michael Landon's been gone 30+ years.
Yeah, he's been gone a long time.
And this kid that lost his dad and killed his mom or whatever, and they adopted him. What's he doing in there?
Doug, answer that.
There's segments where they just
Baffling
evolve
to me.
around him cleaning crap out of the stall and.
So you're enjoying the show?
I kind of want to
Except
watch
for the
this
kids.
show.
Except
you
for
haven't
the-
watched it, Jackson? I'm
No,
surprised.
I kind of want to watch it, but it doesn't seem like it's getting very good reviews from you fellas.
Last season, there was one good episode, and it was the first episode. It was like, oh man, sick! Look at all this action, and absolutely nothing happened.
Quasi,
after that.
don't take this the wrong way, but I kind of take what you say with a grain of salt because you're kind of a take-smith in a sense.
I assure you, you watch season 4, and you get so excited after the first episode.
Well, I'm enjoying season 5.
And
so
it
far.
is very little.
Now they're going to get in trouble for these coyotes. So or wolves.
Doug, you say
Wolves. Wolves.
Wolves.
Not wolves.
Yeah, but,
wolves.
but they add
Can we
storyline.
hear the L, please?
Wolves.
No, wolves.
And John Dutton is selfish as hell, man. I don't know how anybody...
Charles S?
Yeah.
Charles S. Dutton played Rock. He has the famous clapping gift when Rudy makes the tackle. The little Sean Astin broke through the offensive line and sacked the Georgia
I mean, he's
Tech
killed,
quarterback.
He's in
hundreds,
Yellowstone?
hundreds of people. He's
Sean
ruined
Astin is
thousands of
not,
jobs.
nor is Charles S. Dutton.
That's a
There's
mess.
all kinds of 5'8" defensive linemen playing for Notre Dame.
What's Sean Astin doing?
Break through the 300-pound lineman to
I
get a
believe
sack.
he was off during the second season of Stranger Things. I believe that's what happened.
Yeah, he was in the Goonies, wasn't he?
He was. He had an asthma problem. And he would later work with Corey Feldman, who now performs at casinos in Florida.
Boy, Feldman fell off.
Supermarket openings.
He was so good in Stand By Me.
Well, he blew the whistle on all the pedophilia in Hollywood and got blacklisted.
Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, I remember that coming out. That was like in 2019, I want to say.
Yeah.
Well, he came out years before that and said it as well.
Mhm.
And it was
And thought his
completely
life was in
ignored.
danger and everything.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't name anybody. He kept saying that there's one person in particular I won't name, but this is going on. I guess he was talking about Harvey Weinstein.
Or Kevin Spacey, maybe.
Yeah. But I don't think
Will Wheaton, Corey Feldman, River Phoenix, and Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Doug, what a foursome. Who had the best career? Who would have had the best career?
River Phoenix, not even close, would have had the best career.
Yeah.
But I think Jerry O'Connell probably had the best career. He'd get glowed up after that.
John Astin for sure. I bet you've made.
Doug, you hear that he glowed up after that? You like that term?
What does that mean?
Well, he was the little fat kid, Verno, in Stand By Me, and then he's dating like a supermodel and married to a supermodel now.
Wasn't he?
Which one of us glowed up the best?
Probably
I feel like I've glowed down, actually.
Doug ages like fine wine. So
Let me
probably
sip some of that.
Okay, that's enough to do see us.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell, I think, had but it would no question River Phoenix would have had the biggest career.
Yeah, because he was trending way upward.
Oh my God, he's
when he died.
one of the
He was
biggest
only in
stars
his
in the
early 20s, wasn't he?
Yeah, like 23, 22.
Well, Larry Thornton isn't happy. He says, it's cool. Like, you spoil everything for everyone who isn't as far as you are in the show. It's all about you. It's always all about you. That's from Larry Thornton.
I haven't spoiled anything.
I did.
Are you really upset that, we talked about wolves?
If you're
Ruined
ready,
it all.
if you're ready to sing along to some country pop, you're gonna love season 5. You'll
Oh, come on. It was
absolutely
only
love
at the reception.
You're not through
They had
it
a
all
band.
the way, bud. There's another concert ahead of you.
Doug, at the outset of the discussion, I said, I'll leave this for my podcast for those who haven't watched it.
We just did 20 minutes on it.
But we didn't reveal anything. That's
I haven't
the best
revealed
part
anything.
about
I'm not going to tell you who
Pepperoncini.
died, who may
Nothing.
die, who's.
But
who's
even
on the
expressing
outs.
whether or not you really like it or don't like it frames it for. Because I remember I was talking about, I'm going to start watching Yellowstone, and somebody texted in, season X whatever sucks. And I go, well, that kind of sucks now that
Yeah.
So now when I'm watching a show, I won't say it until after the fact because there are masochists out there who like to ruin things for people.
Sure.
So therefore I won't. I attempt to not allow
Well,
them.
Jackson
We
said
got
it
two
best.
comments.
I'm a
Palsy said it
taste
wasn't good. I said it's good.
I'm a take
So
so
take what you want.
That's why I don't read reviews before I go see a movie. I'll read them after. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want to be biased or have any thoughts beforehand. I want to just go in and see it.
Because you can read a review that trashes the movie and you go and you love it.
Yeah, exactly. Babylon, the new movie out right now, Babylon.
It's performing poorly in the box office, correct?
Oh, it's a huge flop. Huge flop, and critics didn't
Margot
like
Robbie. Oh, critics didn't like it either?
No, it's sitting at like a 55% Rotten Tomatoes. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, there you go.
So that's...
now you've spoiled that for everybody,
To
too.
each their own.
Yeah,
Movie
fair enough.
snob.
Some people like some things.
Yeah, movie snob guy is up there in the guy.
You think Jackson's movie snob guy?
No,
I am.
No,
I am.
No, I'm talking about the critics who like, only the cool movies are the ones nobody's ever heard of, and that are like basically all subtitled. Those are really
Well,
good.
Babylon would
Nobody
fall
gets
in
them.
that class. It's a prestige movie.
Well, I like yours better. Good or bad. Just tell me it's good or bad.
Damn right.
I don't like to read the things. And if you go to scene 3, I think the ambiance in the stream, and you see the trout go by, the trout represents the living and being of the earth. Shut up.
Yes. Stop with that.
I think there's room for both, but, good or bad just kind of cuts out all the red tape. And Babylon was good.
Good morning. Yellowstone overall is very underwhelming, in my opinion. It's all right, but not to the point where I'm going to go out and purchase a big yellow Yellowstone Y to place on the door of my big Dodge pickup truck. I've seen them, and those people can't possibly have sex. Thanks. That's what Scott Swinkelball said.
Actually, just saw one the other day.
That's the thing now? People have a Y on the side of their truck?
I didn't know that.
It's embarrassing. When you see it, you will feel so bad
I was
for
thinking about
him
buying
and
it.
feel so great about yourself.
I might buy a hoodie that says Yellowstone John Dutton Ranch or Dutton Ranch.
You would.
With the Y. I think they're kind of cool.
So, Plowboy, how do you feel about Jeannie?
I'd buy a hoodie.
You would? Okay, so Pepper and Jeannie's back together.
Look, if I'm putting my Y on an 04 Honda CRV, acting like I'm John Dutton over there.
Sniff and Holes texting in saying soccer guy is the worst because they're criticizing our show. Well, everybody criticizes our show.
Yeah, sure.
Soccer guy is the worst.
And maybe it's probably talking about something else. St. Louis Morning Radio drooling over. It's just a screenshot of somebody tweeting, but I don't know. Maybe this guy has a big following. I don't know. Doug, do you follow Hellbender STL?
I just don't. I just don't.
I'm not familiar, but maybe I don't know. I apologize. I'm not all that active on Twitter. St. Louis Morning Radio drooling over 85 days till Cardinals opening day. We haven't talked about that, so can't be talking about us.
No.
While I can't wait for that, only countdowns I care about are 52 until 225 and 59 until 3-4. Hashtag STL Cards, hashtag STL City SC. And then a gentleman responds, I'm still waiting for any meaningful discussion about soccer on any sports radio outside of interviews with staff. Hard to get your audience excited when they don't know what they're excited for.
Well, I haven't played a game yet.
Yeah,
What do you want us to
let it
break
happen.
down? Let's talk about the 3 guys they have on the team. Let's break this down.
And we don't know the players. We didn't watch the players play in college
What
or
are we
anywhere
supposed to
else know.
discuss?
Did you see the draft? Like, they traded our pick for like $20,000?
Yeah, like the number 1 overall
Like,
pick.
what the hell? And I don't get the league. I guess I just don't understand it. But, like, that's what the pick is worth? Like a used Tahoe? Like, that's what the number 1 overall pick in the MLS is worth? It's so weird to me.
They did get a guy from St. Louis U. Like in
I
the second
did love
round.
that video where they called them, and, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, we just broke it down.
Imagine having Connor Bedard ready to be drafted. You go, we need a new vending machine.
Rather
We're going to trade this
20,000,
pick.
yeah. Well, I don't know how the salary cap works.
Well, we'll have
we don't know
soccer
how
guy
any
let
of
us
it
know.
works.
We won't be
I guess
following
we can
Hellbent.
make stuff up about draft picks. Well, this guy kicks with both legs.
Well, you see him. He got the
Runs
first
well.
overall pick, and we're like, hell yeah. And then I saw.
You can't leave him alone by the net, or he'll put it in.
Were you allowed to pick? Can they go get Cristiano Ronaldo?
You can go anybody in college, and apparently $20,000 was a better option.
Well, I think that has to do with the salary cap of the league.
I think that's a problem if you're trading first-round picks for money.
I don't think that's what they
that's
value.
Where the league is the problem.
I don't think that's what they value. The first round pick is only worth $20,000. There's much more to it than that.
But if you have to sell your pick to make a salary cap work, that to me, Doug, is a huge issue.
I think they wanted more players. They probably thought the number 1
they're the Cardinals.
wasn't that much better
They want
than
more
everyone
average
else.
talent than one superstar.
We're already on the St. Louis City, guys.
How much do you think the highest paid dog is going to make?
Highest paid.
Okay, for a second I had to.
I don't know.
I don't know what
have
the
an
salaries
intelligent
are.
opinion on that.
That's a good question. I'll look at average salaries.
100 grand.
You'd have
maybe.
to ask Luke Pfaffenstiel or whatever his name is.
No, we just have. What's his name? Hellbent.
Pfaffenstiel?
30 to 90,000 a year.
30? Some of the guys are making 30,000. You can make more than that at Quick Trip. They have
two jobs.
professional players in the MLS making 30,000 a year.
Let's see here. That was just the first number I saw.
Seems low to me.
According to MLS players, the average, I guess, is 400,000.
That sounds more like it.
Yes, far cry from 30.
Well, this was in 2003. It was 30,000.
It was.
So I'm actually just giving
was
you a
20 years
gauge
ago.
of the popularity.
It still seems low 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't believe Taylor Twellman was making 30,000 a year.
There's a guy that's guaranteed to make $3 million this year.
Won't be on this team.
Man, this is gonna be hard to.
When we break down soccer, it stays broken down.
The thing is, we have to break down the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Hey! During Iggy's recent Hoosier Care Package opening. Is that what it was called? It was called a Hoosier Care Package
It wasn't
opening?
Hoosier, it was perverted.
I couldn't help but notice his accessories motivational art hung crookedly behind him. Does he stare at them every morning for motivation? I would love to know the story behind them. Doug, you are a baddie man rocket. That's from Adrian St. Roy.
Adrian St. Roy.
They weren't crooked.
He's new.
They were Talbots. They were pictures of a whale and a dolphin.
What in the festival of cocks is going on in here? I know the husband and he is okay with it. Then why in the holy hell did I see said husband in line at Bass Pro Shop purchasing digital binoculars with a night vision infrared lens? And today the whole world changed. At Tube Plowsy, spending all that time in the studio together recording that Schlepper and Weenie show, Iggy is worn off on Plowsy because ain't no way a woman came up to Plowsy and said her husband listens to the show. No way, nowhere, no how. That's from Ben N, and then the last name is Zerton.
I have witnesses.
Ben in Zerton.
It happened.
Can we please cut Iggy some slack? Just because he goes out to dinner with married women doesn't mean he's banging them. Sure, he used to bang married women at Fort Melvin, but those marriages were obviously doomed considering the wives were willing to bang Iggy in a public park playground. And yes, he fooled around with his lesbian uncle's wife while the rest of the family was out on a boat, but he didn't bang her. Besides, this was all ancient history. Iggy's fling with Leona Helmsley was 36 effing years ago. Granted, we don't know the identity or the marital status of whomever vomited in Iggy's sink after Gobbable in 2019. But are we all really to believe there's married women out there who drop Iggy off at his rent-controlled dormitory for the underprivileged and then decide to come inside and do all the work while Iggy just lies there? And then this gentleman named Buck Swope has updated live betting odds. Iggy makes it to the Jamaican resort is now plus 500. Iggy lands in Jamaica but gets turned away at the border for plotting to overthrow the Jamaican government and install himself as king is plus 3,000. Iggy gets arrested outside the Miami airport as part of a sting operation for luring a young boy he stalked on Instagram to come meet him as plus 5,000. Iggy's passport doesn't arrive and he spends the week huddled at the masturbation station watching Nickelodeon, commenting on Lauren's social media posts, and going out to dinner with married women is minus 800. Happy New Year. It's my birthday in 7 days. That's from Buck Swope.
Buck Swopey.
And finally, hi, you boys. Another strong start to the I haven't gotten any airtime yet, so I'll interject some whimsical nonsense story to redirect any and all focus my way 7 o'clock hour. Tim was having an easy-to-follow conversation with young Jackson about not using government names on air, and wouldn't you know it, here comes Iggy storming the gates of attention like Kanye hijacking T-Swift's acceptance speech. Yeah, so I got a DM from Cox, Jeff Cox, over the weekend. He sent me a box of exploding penises, and then he DM'd me. He DM'd me because his kid plays football, and that is a sport that requires socks to be worn. Now, this is where it gets good, so strap in and buckle up. Jeff Cox, the guy who DM'd me, accidentally sent the socks to my house. Guys, did you hear me? I said he sent the socks to my house. You guys laughing yet? Well, anyways, so he DM'd me to tell me to please not open a box of socks that will arrive on my doorstep, but I ignored it and opened them. I know. I mean, this is my life, you know, just zany stuff that always happens. So, yeah, Cox DM'd me about socks, and then he came over to pick up the socks. Cox, DM, socks, and socks in a box from Cox. Alrighty, I'm going to go smoke. Thanks. That's from the Learn Christmas Ornament I need to comment on.
What was the guy's name again?
The Learn Christmas Ornament. that I needed to comment. It's spelled A-R-N. Ornament. I need to comment
The
on.
Learn
And that's what we have
Christmas
for the Design
Ornament.
Air Heating and Cooling email
Oh,
today.
I said ornament.
I'll
Show
go
me
for
what you
that
got.
last fella, the Learn Christmas Ornament that I need to comment on.
Yeah, because it was going to be a first. I was actually going to vote for Swope because it was fairly entertaining.
Where were you?
I'm going to go with Learn.
Learn gets it. There it is. Congratulations, the Learn Christmas Ornament. Hey, I'd like to tell the people about Mentality. Doug, go to lowtusa.com, and the next thing you know is you've got magic happening, brother. I've gone to Mentality, and it is super easy to do. Friendly staff, FDA-approved testosterone treatment, board-certified physicians who work with most insurance. If you're dealing with low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious and moody, irritable, impatient, you could be dealing with low testosterone. Get it checked out at Mentality. Go to lowtusa.com. It's Mentality at lowtusa.com. We are approaching 10 o'clock, which means Jackson and I are going to go get it handed to us on 101 ESPN with Balloon Party for the Plowhawk, for Iggy, for Jackson, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, and Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from